football game.
Absolutely.
So, as we get ready for the Hawks to come out of the tunnel here, your 1-0 Hawks are about to burst loose here. But I think, too, another interesting thing that we talked about was we have several coaches that have returned from that 2018 coaching staff that
Absolutely.
coached in the state finals. Your offensive line coach, Dennis Sherritt, has returned. Phenomenal individual, replacing another great coach in Brian Gagner, who elected to spend some time with his family. He's got a young family, and hats off to him.
Absolutely.
He did a phenomenal job. I have no doubt that Sherritt's just going to continue that. Brian Griffith coming back, taking over the linebacker spot. He's a institution here at Decatur. Played college football at linebacker, so very knowledgeable. Been around, done just about everything. So I think there's a lot of optimism here.
Absolutely.
And like I said, a lot of talent on our side of the football. There's a lot of young talent.
Absolutely.
We talk about Carson Eisen. We talk about Landon Hazelwood,
Caden Cole, all those guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of young guys as the Hawks take the field here. And led by big number 12, Bo Polston. And he's the engine, if you will. As Bo Polston goes, so do the Hawks.
Big leader for our offense, and will continue to be so.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good at warm-ups earlier. Just real smooth, real easy. We talked about last week, I think, Coach Sherritt coached up the offensive line. They were having some struggles early, and they got better and better and better as the game went on. So I feel like we're just going to build on it. But you got to remember, on the O-line, there's one kid coming back, I think, that has varsity experience. So we've got a lot of new faces on the O-line, young guys. So it's going to take a minute for those guys to mesh as a unit. And that's how offensive line works. They have to work as a group. It's not one guy. All you Indianapolis Colts fans know what I'm talking about as of last year. It's not just Quentin Nelson. It's all five of those gentlemen. And if they're not all five on the same page, rowing the boat in the same direction, it doesn't work.
It's going to fall apart, tip over, if you will.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of young guys on the O-line from this year. You spoke earlier, Alex Serber
Absolutely.
is a standout. Came in last year, played quite a bit.
Played varsity as a freshman.
Nathan Callahan is a senior offensive lineman. Great kid. Absolutely adore Nathan. He's a wonderful guy. Caden Cole is a young guy with a lot of spirit, a lot of fire. And so we're going to take a moment here as we honor Coach Griffith's father, who just passed away recently, Mr. Joe Griffith. He's an institution here in Decatur, was a firefighter for a long, long time, and just an absolutely wonderful individual. So we'd like to take some time to honor Mr. Joe Griffith. So here's the ceremonial coin toss. I think they've already done the official coin toss earlier there. But you see our captains there. You've got Albert Aguirre out there, who rightfully so. Guy does a lot of things. Ran the ball last week. Led the team in tackles. So Decatur Central will receive the kick.
Javian Jones out there as well.
Javian Jones is a house. He's out there. You see Enpo Dodo, who is an athlete and a half. Braden LaFollette, who kind of like Bryson Bonowit, he's all over the place. You see him everywhere. So as our special teams are about to kick off or to receive here. Big
respect to both of these teams. They are both very physical when it comes to the game of football.
Yeah, I think you all know, you've seen over the years the Hawk way. I mean, that's just how it is. We play fast, we play physical, pin our ears back. We get a lead. I mean,
we are definitely, when we get that lead, we definitely strive on keeping that lead for the rest of the game.
In the words of my high school track coach, Dennis McNulty, it's Katie bars the door once you get the lead, man. It's release the hounds and let them go.
Absolutely.
So let's see, we have Casimir Hicks, who is a young star in the making. That young man is very talented, number 7. And it looks like Inpo Dodo is the other returner. So keep your eyes on those two gentlemen. Casimir Hicks had a phenomenal season last year as a freshman, just a pure runner.
And the kickoff is up, and we are ready for the game, folks.
Newpal is going to send it out of bounds. We'll get the ball at, I believe it's a 35 here.
35.
So they tried to angle kick, and it did not work out. Nice job by Casimir Hicks of leaving that alone and watching that out of bounds.
Absolutely.
As opposed to, you think a young guy might do something advantageous there. That's just a smart play to make there.
Absolutely. Let that go out of bounds and get those extra yardage.
All right, so 12 minutes. We're going to get a fresh slate here in the first quarter. As you see, Pharrell Carter looks like he's going to go up to the top side there, along with Chris Richmond, who had a touchdown last week. Near side is Inpo Dodo. You've got Bo Polston in the shotgun here. It looks like Albert Aguirre is going to be to his near side. And Javian Jones with a low snap. We're going to go out to Farrell Carter, who's going to bring it upfield for a gain of about 3 or 4 there.
And I got a chance to talk to Bo this week before the game, and I think out of anybody I talked to this week, he was definitely the most fired up and ready for this game.
Yeah, he seemed real focused to me. Seemed like he if you will, had the eye of the tiger a little bit. I think he is, as well as anybody, wants this game. And the other big point between last year and this year is there were so many guys that were injured. We didn't have Albert Aguirre. Javian Jones didn't play in this. I know Asen Stevens played, but he was injured and trying to play through it. So, I mean, there's a lot of differences this year to last. As you see a nice run there. Not sure who the running back there was, maybe Albert. Yeah, Albert Aguirre there barrels forward for about a gain of 4 or 5 here. And we're in the hurry-up offense right off the bat here with Bo Poston. And he's got Inpo Dodo on his back there. As you see, Chris Richmond and Pharrell Carter, looks like they like those guys lined up together.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure who this is on the near side as Albert goes into motion. They're probably going to run to that side, which they are. And I believe you're right. What a great job of popping that hole out by that offensive line on that side. I saw.
And obviously, as you bring him up, this varsity team's definitely going to miss Asen going down there to do his thing at Virginia.
For sure. Yeah.
Virginia Tech.
You always miss an elite caliber talent on your team. I mean, that's. And you're spot on. That is Carson Eisen, our near side. Looks like they got Chris Richmond down there with him. Yep. Farrell Carter up top, probably Inpo Dodo there next to him. And nice little fake there. Pharrell, that's been the big deal this year. If Pharrell can consistently catch the football, we are a very dangerous football team with that young man. If he can consistently catch the ball and keep those chains moving, I mean, that's a nice, easy pass and catch for 6 yards on first down. As our former offensive coordinator, Brian Ney, used to say, he is on schedule.
Absolutely. I'm liking how quick Bo can get the ball out to his receivers here.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with what he looks like right now. He's making good, quick decisions. He's playing easy football. He's making easy choices here. As you see Eisen down here, looks like Chris Richmond's in the slot. Bo's going to keep it. About lost it there. Got it back. He's going to be close to that first down marker, maybe about a half yard short. So, they're going to mark him about a yard short there.
Going to go back into the hurry up.
Third and short, that's a perfect time. Don't give him time to breathe or catch.
No.
So. And I got to admit, I mean, great job by this O-line here in the hurry up. It's a great idea for a young group of guys. And the other thing is they're not just running on one side. Both sides are getting plays. So Polston's in the shotgun.
Looks like, is that Enpo Dodo?
And we're going to call a timeout here. Coach Enright calls a timeout here. Looked like maybe guys weren't set where they needed to be, so not a bad idea to burn a timeout here. And you got a nice opening drive going here, and you'd like to keep it that way.
Absolutely.
So very important 3rd and 1 here with 8:49 to go. For those of you that can't join us here at the game, we appreciate you following us here on DCHS Live on the Facebook app. We'll be bringing all of the home games to you here this season. So unfortunately, we won't be in the road, but you can probably try and check out. Most schools now have some sort of a live feed. So they usually on Facebook or YouTube or something of that nature. So
we appreciate everybody here, whether you're physically here or over a device. We respect all of the Decatur Central Hawks fans, as well as the Dragons fans.
Indeed, man. The more the merrier.
Absolutely.
So 3rd and short here, about 1, maybe a little less than 1. So we're getting the plays called in here by Noah Ray. And Bo's in the shotgun. He's got Albert Aguirre, the hammer, next to him, and he's going to take it and run the opposite direction. He's going to get about 3 or 4 there, enough for a first down as we keep this opening drive alive. A score here would be very, very good.
Absolutely. Looking for it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the New Powell 38-yard line. So again, I mean, this all started with a good decision by Casimir Hicks to let that ball rumble out of bounds. So we get the ball at our own 35 off the opening kickoff penalty. And right now we're just driving the ball down the field with nice short passes, smooth, easy rhythm passes, and some runs here.
Big respect to this offensive line.
And Bo is going to take a shot.
Going down, he's got a man open, and that is a touchdown. Chris Richmond.
2 weeks in a row.
What a great play by both of those men. Bo Polstein and Chris Richmond connecting for the touchdown.
I talked to Coach Enright this week, and he said we're going to lull them to sleep with run, short passes, and then take our shots when they're there, and that's exactly what just occurred.
As I was saying, literally before the play, big respect to our offensive line for not letting them get through, resulting in a wonderful touchdown for your Decatur Central.
Like I alluded to earlier, Bryson Bonowitz, the everywhere kid, holding, and Ashton Vogel, who I think should be the all-conference kicker, in my opinion. The kid is just special. He's got a special leg. In my time, I can't remember anybody, maybe Amir Salama, who was a North-South All-Star, that is as capable as Ashton Vogel has been as a kicker here. So
absolutely.
So excellent job by that young man for being consistent. Wasn't really a perfect snap. Bryson had a pretty good hold there, and Vogel gets it through the uprights, and that's all that matters. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to happen.
Your score is now Decatur Central Hawks 7, New Pal Dragon 0, with 8:37 left in the first quarter.
So we talked about that defense before this game. You're going to get a chance to see them here, and it'd be cool if we didn't, though. I'd like to maybe recover an onside kick or something, or a fumble. That'd be all right. I'd take that. But we're going to get to see this defense. I'm excited to see our linebacker group play. They're just special. I mean, there's no other way to put it. That group of gentlemen is just very, very special. Steve Oyuteo and Albert Aguirre, who you saw in the fullback, and got a couple carries in that first drive. So off to about as good a start as we can be if you're a Decatur Central Hawk fan.
Absolutely.
So Ashton Vogel back to put a boot in it here. And nice high kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 8-yard line. And they're going to bring it right up the middle here. And
get to about
gang tackle there.
25-yard line.
The young man we alluded to earlier, Elijah Trammell, wearing the Tyrese Halliburton 0 jersey. In on it, number 4, Michael Campbell, who is another one to watch along with Casimir Hicks. That gentleman is just flat out an athlete, period, end of story.
Absolutely.
So you like seeing him making a tackle there. They get a 1st and 10 here from the 26. So, I mean, not much more than if they would kneel. So that's a good starting position. So defensive line, Brandon Vincent up there. Big 71. And look at that. I mean, you can't ask for more than that up front. Is that Javian? Yeah, Javian Jones, Connor Bentley up there. I mean, all you want those big boys up front to do is hold their spots, hold their gaps, and not only Javion do that, he made the tackle. He shot the gap and wrapped that gentleman.
Brandon Vincent getting in there with the pressure, allowing the sack.
And on that outside is Bryson Bonowit. I mean, the 2 big boys in the middle. I mean, that was poetry in motion right there, those guys.
Absolutely.
So here we go again. Javion's getting double teamed and squirting through is Grayson Thomas, their vaunted running back. He's quite extraordinary himself. You will hear his name quite a bit.
Absolutely.
And he's for those of you who aren't familiar, Grayson Thomas has been their tailback since the great Charlie Spiegel, state record holder at running back in just about everything you can think of left. And he's filled his shoes admirably. And we got some sort of a penalty here. Looks like it might be on the Hawks, or at least that's what New Pal. Yep. Encroachment on the Hawks here, and New Pal will get a 1st down without a play. I didn't feel like we committed a lot of penalties last week, so
absolutely not.
Hopefully that trend will continue here. So that's our first one here. So New Pal in the shotgun. Thomas going to step up and sit down, and they're going to go upfield.
Deep pass.
And broken up. What a great job.
That is
Braden LaFollette, somebody who I hope we say his name quite a bit this evening. And
absolutely.
If they're going to continue to throw, that was Gavin Neal, the quarterback for New Pal. And to be quite honest, LaFollette doesn't do his job. That's a completion. So I mean that's a pass defended by that young man.
Great coverage right there.
Just good timing, and they're going to fake the handoff as Neal is going to come up the middle. He ain't going very far. Gets maybe 2 here. Or excuse me, that was number 8, Gavin Neal.
Running up for a gain of 2.
And for those of you who are unaware, they, as usual, have an outstanding offensive line. Like we said, their coach is an old offensive line from back in his college days, offensive lineman. And I can guarantee you their O-line will be very good. As we're going to pass again, and a kind of a wounded duck, but it's complete.
That is number 7. That is Kyler Kropp making the catch for the New Pal Dragons.
And that's going to be something they're going to go to all night. Kyler Knopp is quite a receiver there. It's a little floaty. I thought we might be able to get under it there, and it's just in the right spot. So
Alex Serber coming in the game for your Decatur Central Hawks.
So they're going with the heavy package up front, bringing in Serber, along with Connor Bentley and Javian Jones, and
handoff.
Thomas goes outside. And it looks like New Pal might be in a little bit of a hurry up here.
As you know, this is Grayson Thomas's last year with the New Pal Dragons. Senior this year,
and he's going to get the football once again. He goes off tackle and he walks in.
Touchdown.
So it's unfortunate there. That defensive end got jammed in there, and he was able to run freely outside.
Absolutely.
So Benson goes back in, Serber out, and we're going to go for an extra point here. See if New Pal can tie it up. Looks like Jake Wells, number 28, in to kick their extra point. Their holder is Brady Armstrong. So let's see if we can disrupt this here. And they are good to go. So we are tied up at 7. 5:30 to go in the first. Both teams with their opening drive have scored. And we told you this is going to be a, in my opinion, pretty evenly matched contest here.
I don't think anybody's going to pull away. I think it's going to be evenly matched, and we're going to have a great game of football tonight on our hands.
Man, I don't know what's going on. The officials are talking about something out there. I'm not sure if there's any issues or what have you.
Possibly a penalty. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if they're just commiserating or what's going on.
Guess we're about to find out.
Yeah, it looks like they were just talking here. So I would assume Jake Wells will kick off for the Dragons, who have a pretty nice crowd with them over there. They've pretty much filled up the away stands. So
absolutely,
nice little drive for them. I'm a former New Pal resident, so I know how far that is. That's a lofty drive.
That is a very lofty drive, but you love it. Fans coming out from far and wide to watch their football team play.
Yeah,
so.
I talk with a lot of my friends. We go to a lot of basketball games, and I think of somewhere like Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, Michigan. My buddy Brandon Jones is a huge fan, and it's kind of meh when it's empty, but when it's full with 115,501 people, changes everything.
Agreed.
So when the stands are full here at DeVere Fair Stadium, totally different atmosphere, man. It's electric.
I agree.
So we got a little delay here. We're taking our sweet time to kick this ball off, in my opinion.
But I'm mentally and physically prepared.
Right, yeah. But, it's so far, I mean, it's been pretty good. We've scored, they've scored, and so big shout out to Hannah Adair, manager, going out there helping out the officials. She and I go way back to her elementary school days when I was her PE teacher. Or no, I believe she's a Valley Mills girl. I was her librarian. But now these guys can't do what they do without their managers, Cameron Tharp, Camilla Napier, Peyton Tilbury, and old Hannah Adair. Those girls do a great job. And I've seen it with my own eyes. They're outstanding.
Make sure these guys are nice and watered and ready for the game.
So here we go. We are ready to go. Jake Wells is walking up here, and here comes the kick. Let's see if Casimir Hicks is going to run this out. He's going to get a touchback. A nice job by Wells putting that in the end zone. I'll be honest, I feel like our kicking talent is equal on both sides here. So,
absolutely.
He seems very capable, as well as we all know that our kicker is quite capable as well. So let's see what adjustments New Pal make here, and see if we come out and do the same thing. Like I said, our offensive line, they've already proven to me that they're off to a much better start this week than they were last week here. So let's keep this train rolling. As you see, Casey Berry finally getting a look at tailback there. And we're going to do an end around. And that did nothing doing there.
Chris Richmond on the handoff there.
Yep, great job there by Garrett Raines for running that down the sideline and forcing Redmond outside. And that's really how you teach that. And that's textbook. String it out and either push them out of bounds or make that tackle.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what he did. So just about 5 minutes to go here. It'll be second down. That was a loss of 1 there, so 2nd and 11. And again, Casey Berry and Carson Eisen on the near side. That tandem of Redmond and Carter outside.
Snap here by Bo Polstein. Passes, and it is tipped in the air and incomplete.
So Polston looking for Pharrell Carter. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 11, a spot that we do not want to be in. So got the play here. We're all coming up to the line. Polston in the shotgun with Albert Aguirre to his right. Looks like we've got trips on the far side, Carson Ison on the near side, and somebody moved. Yeah, it looks like maybe one of our receivers moved.
I also did watch. It was a little bit of movement from the defensive line as well.
Yeah, but they're allowed to move around as long as they don't cross the ball. So we're going to get a false start and loss of 5, so it'll be 3rd and 16 here. So you can almost bet that we're going to see the ball go up in the air.
And Pododo subbed back into the game.
So we got a little more experience in Pododo there. So let's see if Bo can pull some magic here. He steps back. He's looking to throw. He's got a hitch. Oh, just out of reach for Redmond. But that was the play, boys. That was it right there. He had to step on 3 defenders.
And he was really looking for that one.
And Bo put it in a place where only he could catch it. And, I mean, just maybe one or 2 steps away, and he gave it everything he had. So, nope, can't fault Redmond. He played it out there. So,
absolutely.
Gosh darn it, man. You hate to see that, but, you know, that was it. I mean, that's a great play call by Kyle Enright. And just could not connect. So that'll bring up 4th and 16.
Ashton will go out here to punt for the Hawks.
And, boy, that got tight. That got nipped. And hopefully it's going to take a nice Decatur Central bounce. And, unfortunately, New Pal's going to get it 1st and 10 from the Decatur 27. So a lot of pressure there coming through. So, little adversity here for the defense. I just see Connor Bentley in there. Looks like Alex Sherber in there, along with Bryson Bonawit and Vincent up front.
Casimir
still got
Hicks.
Michael Campbell, it looks like, is kind of playing up there, along with, and they're just going to run it right up the middle, and he's going to walk in untouched once again. That is Grayson Thomas.
His 2nd touchdown of the night, and that makes the score 13-7. New Pal Dragons take the lead.
So New Pal capitalizes on the mistake, and that's generally how it works in high school athletics. If you make a mistake, whoever makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win the football game. Right now, it's New Pal 1, us 0 in the mistake category. Or, well, I guess taking advantage of mistakes.
Jake Wells out here to kick for the New Palestine Dragons, and it is up and through, making the score 14-7 with the New Pal Dragons in the lead.
And Hawks had a 7-0 lead with about 6 minutes to go, and in about 2 minutes, this has turned on its ear here.
Tides have turned.
So, you know, the nice part about football is after that, you get another chance.
Absolutely.
Or at least at this point in the game.
Still 3 whole quarters to play, and don't ever count anybody out quite yet.
Yeah, and hey, big shout out to Jackson Tietrick, our former student from last year, who used to do these with me, and he's watching from Ball State University. So big shout out to Jackson. Same with Jim and Tamara Waits. They are watching. Miss you guys. See Parker down there. He's here. Maybe he'll tell you about it when he gets home. We got Parker Harrington, former quarterback of our state finalist team, is down there, along with Jared Thompson, who's a part of that group. Both those guys, good buddies. And played baseball together and football for years and years. So glad to see those guys back here on the sidelines.
Wells out here to kick it up for the new Palestine Dragons.
Again, Casimir and Inpo Dodo. Casimir Hicks, Inpo Dodo back for your Hawks. Ready to receive here. Be nice to see one of those guys get something going here.
Absolutely.
Get a nice return if they get a chance
Goes
to.
out towards Casimir Hicks,
and
who's
he's
going to
in
take
the
it
end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. So very impressed with the leg on Wells. I mean, he's 2 for 2 on extra points, 2 for 2 on kickbacks or kick returns on touchbacks. So he's got quite the leg himself.
Absolutely. You know, him just as well as Ashton Vogel prepared for this game mentally and physically as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I forget who used to say it. I think it was Todd Sconce. He said, hey, you know, they pay their coaches and they coach their kids too. You know, that kind
Absolutely.
of thing. So they've been very successful over the years. So since Kyle Ralph showed up in Hancock County. So here's
and Pododo in motion. The handoff to.
Looked like Albert got that for a yard maybe here. Albert Aguirre.
Absolutely. And you know, you could always enjoy those little yardage plays that could always lead to something bigger later.
I feel like we're doing a really good job of mixing up the run and the pass. You know, that second touchdown's just you get
always got to keep them guessing, if you will.
Well, yeah, you get a tight punt in there, and it's tough to get that out of there, and you know they get a little pressure.
Absolutely.
And Bo is looking over here to the sideline for Carson Ison. He cannot hang on to it. Bobbles it and falls out of bounds there. So incomplete to Carson Ison.
Desmond Palmer pushing him out of bounds there, forcing the incompletion.
So again, it's 3rd and long for your Hawks. So short gain on 1 and an incompletion on 2 brings up 3rd and 9 here for Bo Polston. You know, I feel like he's knocking on the door. He's been close. He just hasn't been able to make a connection here. You know, you saw him throw out to Redmond there in the last drive, and that would have been an amazing catch. And, you know, but we're going to hit on something. You know, it's not like we're missing terribly here. We're going to hit something.
Flag here, delay of game on the Decatur Central Hawks. Give a little extra time to think about what we got going on here.
Yeah, you know, Bo Polston comes in here with a lot of fanfare. He's got some big-time college offers. He's got a lot of expectations. But let's remember, folks, Bo Polston's a sophomore.
Right.
So from time to time, these things are going to happen. He's not a senior. He's not been through it, completely and totally yet here. I mean, he's got some experience, and he's very talented.
Exactly.
As you see an inside screen, and Albert Aguirre just cannot hang on to it, unfortunately.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Bo's dream college or college he wants to go to is USC.
Hey, that'd be all right. He'd look all right in a little garnet and gold.
Absolutely.
I believe, is that the colors there?
I
garnet
believe
and gold?
so.
Or is that Florida State?
That might be Florida State, but
sorry to all you Florida State and USC fans
check.
for
the fact check real quick.
For forsaking your school colors. Ashton Vogel back to punt out here. Let's see if he can get a better punt off here, and he does. So it's going to roll out here. It's going to take a Decatur Central bounce, rolling horizontally, oddly enough, and it's going to stop right at midfield.
So they refer to it as cardinal red and gold for the USC colors.
Bryce Johnson, my man Bryce Johnson, picking it up there at midfield, number 46, making sure that ball's secured.
Absolutely.
Hey, also the great Dan Graham, former, I would like to call him the custodian emeritus at Valley Mills. He was a do-it-all, fix-it-all guy. He knew everything, man, in that time. So good to have you, Dan. Appreciate you watching the Hawks on a Friday night. So we've got some sort of a penalty on the Hawks. So I guess we're going to re-kick here, it looks like. I did not see what happened there. I didn't see what went down there, but it looks like we're going to repunt.
Ashton Vogel back out here to repunt for the Decatur Central Hawks.
I'll be honest, if he could actually get into one.
I'm ready to see him boot these punts very far this season.
Yeah, we just got to get him some time. He's got guys in his lap on every single punt here. So
absolutely,
that one's going to take a worse bounce, and Bryson Bonowit's going to down it at the 28. That sounds a whole lot worse than the 50. So opportunist Kyle Ralph of New Pal getting that repunt, and he picks up about 22 yards net difference in the first punt and the second punt, so that hurts.
Obviously, people like Brandon Vincent on the Decatur Central Hawks team, last year looking for something big this season.
Yeah, and I think with Brandon, with him, he's looking to be more consistent and be a disruptor. I think that would be the best case scenario. I thought he did a pretty good job of being that last year.
Absolutely.
And this is kind of a step-up year for him. I think his uncle is Will Vinson, who used to coach our defensive line here with Dennis Staten. And I know Uncle Will's been working with him, I'm sure.
Absolutely. When you got somebody in the family.
So Neal looking to hand it off to Howard instead. They do a little wraparound. Nice job tackling.
Mason Hyatt, correct me if I'm wrong on that name. But
no, I think you're right on. And Braden LaFollette right there to bring him down. They're going to get, looks like about 3 or 4 here on that play. So 2nd down and 6 for the Dragons.
About 2:55 left to play in the first quarter.
So this would be a huge stop here for the defense if we can make it happen. And Neal's going to keep it. He's just going to try and bury up the middle, and he ain't going anywhere.
Big respect to that defensive line right there, obviously.
A lot of big uglies making tackles. Looked like Javian Jones had some legs. Connor Bentley had some legs.
Brandon Vincent, obviously, with the assist on that tackle there.
Bryson Bonowit, I think, got a piece. Albert Aguirre from the backside helped lay him down. So
everybody was there for that tackle.
And that's how it's got to be, though. You got to build that wall up the middle. Do not let them run up the middle at all.
No.
So Neal, clapping for the signal, is going to look at the sideline, and he's going to reset the play here. And he's just going to hand it off to Thomas right up the middle. He's got space. I don't know how we're getting caught. And they're going to mark him down just short of a touchdown.
You notice there, he
man, we're getting really caught in the middle as far as our linebackers and our defensive linemen are getting caught in the middle. And guys are just running through there.
Thomas almost ran over his own 2 teammates on that play.
Yeah, and I mean, why not just give it to him again, let him score?
Absolutely,
and
but Neal's going to keep it, and that will result in a loss of yards.
I'll be honest, from the get-go, that looked like a good idea, but the pursuit right now, the Hawks would not be denied on that.
Absolutely not. That's something you strive for when it comes to defense, that goal line.
The option man was tackled, and the quarterback who pulled it was tackled. Absolutely. And that's exactly how you play that. I mean, that's what you coach up. I'm sure Max Gooden was stoked about that.
Absolutely. Talking to some of the defensive players this week, they said goal line defense is definitely one of the bigger parts of the game this week.
Here's another little jet, and it's stuck short. My Lanta, that was nice. I don't know who that was. Was that number 8? Was that LaFollette that put a smoke onto Kyler Kropp that stopped him in his tracks and kept him from scoring? I think he thought he was going to walk in, and he did not.
You got a 3rd and goal here for the new Palestine Dragons. Looking to punch it in before the second half starts.
Defense has been holding, and finally they're going to break through here.
Thomas with a touchdown, making the score 20. Your new Palestine Dragons 20 and the Decatur Central Hawks 7.
We've got 41 seconds here in the first. So hopefully, at this point, you just want to see the Hawks respond. Let's get a first down. Let's build and build here.
Jake Wells out here to kick for the new Palestine Dragons. And obviously, you look at some of the seniors on the opposite side, the opposite team, if you will. Obviously hoping that they can go on to college and make big things happen for different teams. And You hate to lose those kind of people, but
well, and we talked about on New Pal. I mean, their offensive tackle. He's 6'6" and about 300 and something pounds. Let's see if I can find it here. Ian Moore, 6'6", 311. O-line, D-line. He is already committed to Ohio State. And I'll be honest, folks, the last person I can recall that ever came out of Indiana and went to Ohio State is Terry McLaurin out of Cathedral. You have to be a very special individual to play for the Buckeyes, and that young man is. I know Thacker is looking, has several offers. Michael Thacker, number 52, D-lineman. I'll be honest, I don't feel like I've said his name at all during the game, which is not a bad thing if you're a Hawks fan. So,
obviously, Terry McLaurin now going on to do big things for the Washington Commanders in the NFL.
I believe he is injured currently.
He is indeed, actually.
Yeah, so.
Been a little injury-riddled, if you will, the past few seasons, but when he's out on that field, he does great things for the Commanders.
He's as dynamic as anybody in the wide receiver position in the NFL, and I mean,
that is why he's their number one guy.
He's unreal. I'll be honest, I'm just going to say it. He's the best player in the Washington Commanders locker room.
Absolutely.
I don't know if agree or disagree, but he's.
That team's had its struggles the past few years. Obviously, Chase Young, young D-lineman.
My man Devin Davis, former Hawk, says Caden Curry from Center Grove, which that gentleman was spectacular, went to Ohio State. So Caden Curry.
So here's Wells with the kickoff.
My point is, not a lot of folks. You got to be extra. And
Casimir Hicks with the bring up, gets it through and is tackled at about the 26-yard line.
I believe you are correct. Nice job by him getting through a little slot there.
Finally was able to bring something out.
So we'll be 1st and 10 from our own 26. Hopefully we can get out of the shadow of our own end zone. It'd be nice to cross the 50 here.
35 seconds ago in the first quarter, excuse me.
Sure, we'll have a few plays dialed up here that
absolutely
Kyle Enright likes.
And obviously, just as much of the offense, Bo wants to get into this end zone here, and less for the score.
So it looks like we've got Pharrell Carter up top. Looks like Redmond and Ison down low. We've got Albert Aguirre in a fullback spot. We're probably going to run here, it looks like. And
Casey Berry with the fake handoff.
Bo's going to fall forward about 3 here, 2 or 3 on the play. So Polston, a design run to him. So it looks like they're going to be content to let this run out for the first here.
Absolutely.
So after 1, New Pal 21, Decatur Central 7. So, oh man, I'm all sorts of wrong. All my former dudes are calling me out. Caden Curry from Center Grove went to Ohio State. DeJuan Jones. How could I forget DeJuan Jones? The Cleveland. I believe he's a Cleveland Brown, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with those kind of.
My man DA Dakota Atwood, also former DCTV sidekick. So thank you so much, folks, for keeping me honest. we like to report the truth here in Decatur Township. So. We try and do that. So it's also really nice to hear from everybody. Carissa Wirtz, she's a big Ohio State fan. I knew that folks would come through. But, yeah, it's just you got to be special to go to Ohio State. I mean, it just, and all 3 of those names, including, Ian Moore, are very, very special talents that we spoke on. So, if you go to places like Ohio State, Michigan, sorry Ohio State fans, I just put you right there next to Michigan. Same to Michigan fans, sorry for that. USC, Notre Dame, whether you agree or disagree, Notre Dame is a special place to go. There's a handful of schools that, they don't just take anybody, they get the best.
Absolutely.
And those schools are definitely one of them.
And Ohio State sends multiple guys to the league every year.
Oh, for sure.
People like Michael Thomas came from Ohio State. Justin Fields doing his thing down in Chicago.
Hey, one other thing I want to mention, too, at halftime, so in 12 minutes, tonight we have the Hall of Fame presentation. So we have several new members going into the Hall of Fame here, Athletics Hall of Fame at Decatur Central. So I will see if I can get you those names before the end of the first half here. But if I remember right, it's a pretty spectacular class going in here, and some real talented folks. So that'll be kind of a cool little thing at halftime for you.
Obviously, as you know, though, colleges all around send people to league every year.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
notable colleges, obviously, Ohio State, Michigan,
Well, I mean, you think about, I was listening to a couple of students today were talking about, somebody's only going to XYZ school, like
right.
a MAC school. I'm like, guys, there are tons of people from the MAC that play in the NFL. I mean, was Ben Roethlisberger? He was pretty good. So,
obviously, he did his thing and got him a Super Bowl. I think
he got 2.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was the youngest Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that. As Bo Polston's pass to Redmond falls incomplete there. And so that'll bring up 3rd down and 9 to go. We gotta stop with the 3rd and longs. That's not a way to do it, man.
Absolutely not. And Coach Enright obviously doesn't want to keep being stuck in these situations.
No, and I'll be honest, I don't think anybody wants to be stuck in
Absolutely
that.
not.
And there's a nice little out. That looks like red. Nope, that's Pharrell Carter. And I'm telling you, man, if we can get Pharrell Carter going, I think that bodes very, very well for Decatur. And that was a 1st down catch. I knew they were right at it, at the line to gain there. So Bo Polston throws a sweet little out play here, and we're in business. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line of the Hawks. So like I said, it'd be nice to see something downfield here, maybe get across the 50.
Absolutely. Always look for those explosive plays.
Bo's going to hand it off to Albert and nothing doing. That's tough road to take there.
Alex Goal and others down there for the New Pal Dragons to stop and make that tackle. It looks like there will be a flag on the play.
So false start on Decatur Central. So I'm with you, Troy Kahn. I want to see it move down the field as well.
Absolutely.
So again, we thank all of you that are watching this evening. We're almost to 100 viewers right now. The more the merrier. We appreciate you guys very, very much.
Both teams prepared physically and mentally. Casey Berry with the handoff, receiving a handoff.
Casey still running. Almost a
Finally
1st down here.
Down at the 45-yard line.
He's gonna. Looks like he's gonna be just short, just barely short there. Maybe, as my grandma would say, just a hair short. But man, if we could get these guys going, Pharrell Carter, Casey Berry.
Brings up a 3rd and 1 for the Decatur Central Hawks. Bo Polston with a fake handoff and runs it up the middle, gets tackled at about the 53-yard line, making plays and moving the chains for the Decatur Central Hawks.
And I'll be honest, I feel like Bo Polston is one of the best people I've seen in making that decision when you read that defensive end or that defensive tackle or that linebacker and you decide whether you're going to pull it and keep it or hand it and go. He does an extraordinary job of that.
Absolutely.
And Bo's looking to throw. He's going to go downfield. He's got Redmond wide open again, and Redmond.
And he makes the catch, and that's in for the touchdown. Bo Colston to Chris Richmond, connecting for the touchdown, making the score 13-21.
I believe that is the answer that we needed to hear right there. Well, that definitely puts a Band-Aid on the bleeding, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So we're going to have
the answer we were looking for.
Ashton Vogel come in here and try and bring it back to 7. See Steve Oyateo running out to set the edge.
Bryson Bonowit, the holder for Ashton Vogel.
We've got to do a nice job of plugging it up here.
Absolutely.
We've had some close calls here, just like that. They are coming all out to block kicks. They must feel that that's some kind of an advantage they have. And truth be told, I mean they've pretty much gotten there twice. So
absolutely. And you really only hear about the offense and the defense, but special teams, man, definitely one of the.
It's huge. I mean, let's be honest. It's different in a lot of football games.
Absolutely, and that's how some can jumpstart their career, just by being on special teams and working their way up and getting noticed by coaches.
You could argue last week we don't win that football game without special teams. 2 field goals by Ashton Vogel. He misses either one of those, we go home with a loss, folks.
Exactly.
So that's a pretty big deal. Hey, special shout out to the Kahn family. I see Holly and Troy and watching from wherever they are. We appreciate you guys greatly. There's a few families when you think of Decatur Township, that they're Decatur Township to me, and the Kahns are definitely one of them. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. So, hey, found the Hall of Fame inductees for tonight, your 2023 class. I'll be honest, I remember this young man fondly. He was quite the athlete. Franklin Callicott, 1999. Lucaeus McNeil, for those of you more recent folks, had a little stint in the NFL. I believe he is still playing somewhere. I believe he's in the USFL. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure somebody will know that. Scott Garver, still probably the most prettiest football I've ever seen thrown by a human being is Scott Garver. It's a thing of art to work as Ashton Vogel kicks off here, and he's going to get a touchback. So we get one as well on the board. Ashton Vogel shows it off his leg. Bob Fincham, 1986 athlete here for Decatur Central. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame along with Tommy Norris from 2006 and Coach Dan Clark. Those are your 2023 inductees into the Hall of Fame. That'll happen at halftime. So there are 170 athletes now as of tonight since the Hall of Fame began in 1982. And I'll be honest, I look at those names as I go down the hallway a fair amount, and it's really impressive, the individuals that we've had come through our athletic programs in the past. For those of you that aren't aware, I mean, there's quite a few, and it runs the gambit from track and field athletes, football, basketball, baseball,
you bring that up.
Wrestling.
It's funny you bring that up. I was thinking today, one man I'd love to see in the pros, whether it's the NFL, USFL, XFL, whatever, Javon Tracy, man, he was one heck of an athlete when we had him here and doing his thing down in Miami of Ohio. So,
yeah, I think at some point in time you'll see all three of those Tracys in our Hall of Fame here. They're all very, very deserving. I was privileged and blessed to see all three of them. I got here during Tyrone's sophomore year. As you see the pass, they're going to call that a completion.
Ball caught by Ty Mitchell
from Gavin Neal, and I'm kind of with. You can kind of hear in the background our scorekeepers. I feel like that bounced a little bit, but in high school there's no replays, and you go by what the official says, and you take it for what it is. So 8:54 and counting here in the second quarter. Big defensive stance here for your Hawks. And that looked like Bryson Bonowit put a hat on a young man, put it on Neal, and that is Bryson Bonowit. Like I said, he's like Santa Claus on Christmas night. That kid is everywhere, delivering hits.
You bring it up.
And right now, defensive line coach Dennis Staten is smiling somewhere because he did exactly what you are taught to do. He pinched down the line and put a thump on the ball carrier.
100%. You bring it up, no replays in high school football.
No.
And, sometimes I watched the show actually. coach said, sometimes you get a little luck from the Zebras, if you will.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it goes both ways. Sometimes it works out in your favor, sometimes it doesn't. It typically evens out. So New Pal's going to call a timeout here with just over 8 minutes to go, 8:03 in the second. Very critical 4th down and 4 to go. So they want to make sure they have the right play called. I'll be honest, I don't feel like their hurry-up offense is as effective as ours has been.
We practice ours a lot in practices.
Yeah, they seem to do much better when they are actually calling a play and setting plays here.
Absolutely.
It looks like maybe they're going to punt here. They're back to punt as opposed to going for it. So hats off to the defense here. When they needed a 3 and out, and they got one here. That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
And credit to Max Gooden and his defensive staff. Like we said, can't say enough good things about Bryson Bonowit there. Huge play on 3rd down to set up this punt. There's a high snap, and he's still going to get a low, short punt. That's going to probably go out of bounds there. Looks like
54,
it's going to be
53.
the 47.
Sorry.
I do that sometimes just to see if anybody's paying attention. Call it, 1st and 10 for the 55, just to see if anybody's paying attention. and the sad part is sometimes they're not.
Yeah, gets it confused. That's my fault.
Oh, no. Hey, it's not. I've been around football since I was 5 years old, and I do it too, man. So, happens to all of us, brother.
Absolutely.
So, like we said, it'll be 1st and 10 here for your Hawks at just about midfield. Boy, they've got an opportunity here to tie this up. If you could go in tied at halftime or better, I feel like they're probably going to get another possession even after. What a nice job with the rub-off screen here. You get the defenders going one way as Pharrell Carter's coming back across the middle of the field, and Bo Polston just delivers a strike, and that was just outstanding.
I mentioned it earlier. He's loving to get these balls out quick and avoid sacks and any 100%. Mishaps in the play. So
no, 100%. And with our personnel and the type of players that we have, with it looks like our downfield threats is Chris Richmond, but with Pharrell and Inpo. And even Carson Ison, you like the little rub routes and again, Bo making a great decision, keeping the ball and sliding forward.
Take the handoff to Chris Richmond there.
Man, he is just so adept at making good choices on that option play. Just such a good decision. They were following the running back, and he had the ball with a full head of steam moving forward, and that's just outstanding play by varsity quarterback Bo Polston there.
And he came in just like Alex Serber coming in as a freshman playing on varsity.
For sure. Sometimes that's the best thing for guys to throw him at the deep end of the pool and say swim. And he's going to take his lumps. He's going to make some,
and
some poor choices.
Lined up there.
And the fake handoff here, and Bo's just buying some time, looking to screen it to Albert. And it looks like that's a completion.
That is a completion.
What an excellent catch by Albert Aguirre there.
And from a distance, that looked like he was just going to throw that out.
Yeah, and Bo there making lemonade out of lemons, and that's another Hawk 1st down. Looks like they've figured something out here on offense, and it's clicking right now. And they're on that far side of the field. I wouldn't mind seeing something downfield. You got a 1st down to play here. Seeing something downfield. We should run a hitch route to the running back out of the backfield here. And this looks like this would be a time to see something like that. I don't know if we have enough field to do that, but take a shot here maybe.
You mentioned before
and we're
the broadcast started that, making the defense. Enpo Dodo breaking through the tackles, getting the Decatur Central Hawks their 3rd touchdown of the night, making the score 20 Decatur Central, 21 the Dragons. And you mentioned it earlier that this offense clicks with some little time left to play, whether it's 2nd or 4th. These guys will figure out how to connect and make plays to get us back into this game. And as you can see, Enpo Dodo there with the touchdown, striving for the Decatur Central Hawks.
Well, it just shows you how important sound tackling is in the high school game.
Absolutely.
Couple missed tackles by New Pal. Guys arm tackling up high, and Enpo Dodo
There goes that New Pal special teams again, getting there almost.
And folks, if you didn't notice, Enpo covered that football with both hands when he turned that corner. When he decided to plant that right foot and get upfield, he covered it with both hands. And New Pal tried to arm tackle him, and that does not work. And so we're tied at 21 apiece.
You mentioned it earlier. Those mistakes are crucial when it comes to high school football. And
very much.
as you can see with the missed tackle mistake there, we capitalized, and that caused us to tie the game.
Well, and I don't think New Pal felt they were going to have to play this hard tonight.
Not.
And the problem is
they're feeling it tonight.
Last year was last year, boys. So
that's all in the past. We look forward to the future and the present.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Dennis Sherritt used to say this is a lunch bucket game.
Absolutely.
You got to bring your lunch bucket. There's 5:54 to go in the first half. There is so much football to play. This is just the start. So how you play in the fourth quarter, how you end the game, is just as important as how you start. And so right now we're even. And so it's going to be a dogfight from here on out. And I think what we've just told New Pal is, hey, we're not going away.
We're still in it. We're still fighting.
So standout kicker Ashton Vogel. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Ashton Kutcher back to kick, but he is Ashton Vogel indeed. Set to put a foot in it here, and New Pal is back deep, and he hits a boot.
Boots that up, and that is going to result in a touchback.
6 to 7 yards in the back of the end zone. And
bringing that ball up to the 25-yard line.
Superintendent Matt Prusecki, who doubles as the kicking coach. I don't know any school system whose superintendent is the kicking coach for the football team. However, that gentleman is uniquely qualified, a phenomenal kicker in high school and college. Played at IU, played alongside Hall of Fame should-be kicker Pete Stoyanovich for your Indiana Hoosiers. And Matt Prusecki is one of a kind. And Ashton Vogel has gleaned much from him, and it shows on the football field. So 1st and 10.
Bonowit down there getting hyped up and ready for this defensive drive.
And Neal's going to hand the ball off to Thomas. He makes a cut and runs into a wall.
Get right.
And you see Vincent, and I see Steve Oyateo.
We keep bringing him up. Brandon Vincent doing great things for the Hawks out there.
I'll be honest. I mean, I feel like our two defensive ends are super important.
Absolutely.
And both have played big roles in this first half. Bryson Bonowit and Vincent have made huge tackles. Bryson most recently on a third down stop of Neal of New Pal, their quarterback. And let's just keep doing it again. Here's the fake. He's going to go downfield, and he is unloading. And there's a guy in the middle of the field who's just wide open and easy throw and catch.
Caught by, that is Kyler Kropp.
And Kropp's made a couple plays here tonight downfield, and he's shown he's an exceptional receiver. And really all he did there was run a seam route down the seam in the middle of the field, and Neal just stepped back and hit him.
Hurry up offense here by the Dragons.
So 34-yard line of the Hawks here with 5:05 to go. They're going to hand it off to Thomas, and he gets tripped up literally. Didn't really see who got the arm out there and tripped him up.
I think tackle was made by Albert Aguirre.
Yeah, that was in a big crowd of folks, and all of a sudden he looked like somebody played a trick on him.
Absolutely.
Former Hawk Ella Phillips tuning in. Good to hear from Ella. Hope you're doing well.
Another handoff there to Thomas, who runs into another wall.
Yeah, you can't say enough good things about the guys in the middle, the linebackers, and also Connor Bentley and Javian Jones.
Subbed in the game for Brandon Vincent.
Yeah, and you see Maurice Carter, my man Maurice out there, plugging up the middle. Him and Connor Bentley now are
third down and 3 for the Dragons.
1 and the 3. And it looks like maybe,
penalty flag there for, is that on?
Looks like it's
Dragons?
on New Pal there. They're going back, so maybe a false start on the Dragons here. So this promising drive, I hate to say it this way, but this one-play drive has kind of stalled here.
Absolutely.
So it's
again, we credit the Decatur Central defense just as much as we do the offense. Like you said, last week making great plays, stopping Columbus North. And
And there's Crop once again. He's going to be ran out of bounds on the Decatur sideline. He's going to gain about 4 or 5 here. Maybe not even that, about 4, 3 or 4. Kind of a tough angle for me to see up here.
Absolutely.
Sorry, folks. My elderly eyes are being deceiving. And a Bryson Cunningham fan on the live feed. And I couldn't agree more, Bryson. You're doing a great job, buddy. Keep it up.
Thank you. Bring up a 4th and 6 for the New Pal Dragons. We looking at the offense staying on the field. Now, don't forget, if they do not complete something here, that will be a...
And Neal's got it, but he is...
tripped up, and that tackle is made.
He's going to be close. And it looked like Elijah Trammell had him in the backfield and missed.
And you got to credit Casimir Hicks for getting his hand on Neal and stopping the play.
We're going to get a measurement here. They're going to have to walk from the New Pal sideline. No, the head official says turnover on downs. So New Pal takes a chance. It does not pay off. So the Hawks now with 3:45, plenty of time to do what they do with the inside passing plays, with the run plays, with the quarterback runs.
And you know, this is definitely one of the positions where you see Bo Polston strive when it comes to this offense.
No doubt about it. And so Polston has got the dynamic Casey Berry with him to his left. We've got Carson Eisen at the top. Albert Aguirre goes in motion. Carter and Redmond to the low side. Casey's going to get the ball. Berry. Not a lot of room there for Casey. And
looks like he got a little toss there, but
yeah. And Casey with a tough couple yards there. So it looks like he's going to pick up about 2. So it'll bring up 2nd and 8. Agree, Troy. There is tons of time. Tons of time here. 3:40, only a couple seconds ran off the clock there.
Be a 2nd and 8 for the Decatur Central Hawks.
Polston has his play from Coach Enright. You see Redmond and Eisen going to the far side. Casey Berry to the near side. Albert Aguirre in the wing position.
Pharrell Carter down here.
And it looks like he's going to Pharrell and a little inside throw. And nice adjustment by Pharrell to the pass there.
Resulting in a 3rd down and 3 to go for the Decatur Central Hawks.
So at least we're getting a manageable 3rd and 3 instead of being in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 16. I feel a heck of a lot better about 3rd and 3 than I do about 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 16
Absolutely.
Here.
Something manageable, but obviously, you never know with Casey Berry or Bo Polston how they will
probably going to be something right up the middle here or something off to that New Pal sideline. And yep, Bo Polston's going to call his own number. He's going to be tight. I don't know. Depends on where the spot is. They're calling him a little short.
Inches.
They're calling him a little short, I think. And so now Kyle Enright has to make the same choice as Kyle Ralph.
Gonna hurry up offense.
He's gonna go for it himself. And they back out of the play here. Look like maybe they're trying to get him to jump. Maybe a quick kick set up here for Bo to kick the ball away, possibly. And that's exactly what it is. And not a bad decision and a good punt by Bo Polston. It's going to take a Decatur bounce to about the 20, and it'll be down to about the 21-yard line.
Carson Eisen with a pickup on the ball there to get it to stop.
Carson Eisen. So 2:18. Both teams trade drives that end in no points.
And that would have been a respectable call from Coach Enright if he would have even attempted to call the quarterback sneak there, because it is a yard.
Well, I think the big thing, and you'll hear coaches, you'll hear college coaches, pro coaches talk about the hidden yards in a game. And right there, if you go for it, you don't make it. New Pal has it first and 10 from your 30 whatever, and now you've just flipped the entire field. Now they got to go 79 yards. So that's a huge punt. And I'll be honest, excellent punt by Bo. I don't recall ever seeing him do that, and that was just a great job. As Neal's going to hand it off to Thomas here, he's trying to go off tackle. To be quite honest, he probably had a little more space going right up the middle, but we'll take his read And that's going to be about a 3-yard gain here to bring up 2nd and 7.
You think about it, quarterback sneak can be just as risky as throwing the ball on like the goal line.
For sure. I mean, you want to have your quarterbacks take as little collisions as they possibly can, but
Steps
come on, let's get to this
back in the
guy.
pocket and is looking
Same
for
deal.
a
He
deep
overthrows
pass.
his man. Excellent job downfield by LaFollette. Or excuse me, that's Casimir Hicks, is it not? I believe that's Casimir Hicks on the coverage there on the far side. Kind of tough to tell. Maybe I should get some binoculars or something out here. But whoever, I'm pretty sure it's Casimir Hicks, did a great job. So buck 43 on the clock here. So 21-21, New Pal has the ball, 3rd down and 7 to go. Neal is in the shotgun with Thomas to his side, and he's just going to hand it off. Thomas makes a cut outside. He's got a lot of green.
Absolutely.
So he's going to go down. Albert Aguirre again with the tackle. And looks like
first down for
Eric Amonfo in on that tackle. My man Eric. And so they're New Pal going with the hurry up here. And Neal's looking to throw. He's looking over the middle, and that's an interception.
Interception that is caught by
LaFollette. Braden LaFollette undercut the route at just the right time. Great job being in position. Neal underthrows his intended target, Crop, who has been his go-to all day.
Getting the crowd hyped up.
We've been telling you it's a battle of mistakes. Right now, to be quite honest, it's 2-1.
Exactly.
New Pal went for it on 4th. Didn't make it. Just threw an interception.
You also have to think the missed tackle on the goal around the goal line.
So if you want to add that, there's number 3. Right now Decatur is winning the mistake battle 3-1. So.
And you mentioned earlier you were hoping to say Brandon Lafitte's name a lot tonight, and well, he heard you from the stands here tonight.
Yeah, and we talked about it, and I had Bryson Bonawent in class, and we talked about it. I'd like to say his name and LaFollette quite a bit, and thus far I have, and I'd like to continue saying their names
absolutely
all night long. And they're great blitz pickup by Albert Aguirre and a throw downfield, and
it dropped.
And there's a penalty flag. One would think it's an interference, but maybe could be offensive interference or defensive pass interference here. But my goodness, Albert Aguirre with an amazing blitz pickups to allow Bo Polston to throw this ball downfield. And I'll be honest, I feel like that was kind of what was missing last week. It sure was not missing on that play, and we get a pass interference call and 15 yards here. So in high school, it's a 15-yard. You wish it was the NFL. We'd love to have it at the 20.
Exactly.
Or the 25, but unfortunately, 15 in high school is all you get.
But yet again, those 15 yards could be a big game changer for us.
Oh, for sure. You'd rather be 15 yards closer to your end zone.
Exactly.
So buck 14 here. Minute 14, 1st and 10, 21-21, going into halftime here. The Hawks have the ball. They are driving. You've got Bo Polston in your backfield. Is that Albert? Yeah, it looks like Albert to our near side. You've got the speedsters in Redmond and Farrell Carter.
A little too high for Chris Richmond.
And Chris tried to get around. It's just kind of an awkward position there.
Absolutely.
So trying to turn the interception into some points.
Second down and 10 for the Decatur Hawks.
Excellent job there. So Hawks looking to take a deep breath here and just string together first downs. I know you feel like you're tied at 1 with a minute 10, but just trust your process, do your plays here.
Absolutely.
Definitely looking to throw, and they are trying to bring it. And
takes
Bo
another deep shot.
Runs one down the sideline.
For Farrell Carter, but cannot connect.
And nice job by number 10, Micah Clark of the Dragons, just staying with him step for step.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 for the Decatur Central Hawks.
That's tough to do. Farrell Carter is
a very explosive player.
It's pretty quick. just hope you can do something where somebody gets a step here.
Exactly.
Just give me some separation and let Bo lay it out there. And
looking for another Chris Richmond play, if you will, from this evening, earlier this evening.
I'll take a Carson Eisen, somebody.
Absolutely.
And he's going with the quick one down here.
Throws to Casimir Hicks, who makes it.
And I said to Mr. Callahan that his youngest son, who was on the JV squad, was a water bug, Tayshawn. But, man, you could say the same about Casimir Hicks. He is just quick as lightning and shifty.
Absolutely. That play results in a first down for the Decatur Central Hawks.
It's nice to have guys like that, those chains of pace guys in your lineup. And
Absolutely.
He is so young. He's a sophomore. And
utilized a lot last year.
Great job by Bo. Kind of a tough snap, and he's again making lemonade out of lemons.
Brings it up to about the 40.
They're going to give him about 2 yards there. So 40 seconds and counting. So it looks like maybe we're going to run it out here and be content with 21-21. Maybe one play here.
Maybe one play, get a timeout, and call out Ashton Vogel.
Yeah, that's not a bad gig. I don't know if get him some space here. Hopefully we can connect on something. And Bo just kind of throws that away there. Had 54. He's been John Raines has been in the backfield a little bit here tonight, applying the pressure there.
Absolutely.
So and he's done a nice job. I think he's the guy that Albert picked up on the blitz for the play downfield where we got the pass interference.
So we got a 3rd down and 8 here for your Decatur Central Hawks.
So the clock stops with the incompletion. So 19.3 to go. We're going to get some time to call a play here.
They're looking to get closer.
We're hoping what we can do is either get a first down here, get something out of bounds. I guess we're going to call timeout, it looks like, talk about it. You know, you'd like to at least give Ashton Vogel an opportunity at the very, very least here.
Timeout by the New Pal Dragons.
I believe his personal best has been 48. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
I believe it has been 48.
And right now we are definitely very much out of that area. From where we stand, he's going to be, it's about a 58-yard field goal from there. So I don't know that we're going to try that with Ashton Vogel. That's an NFL caliber field goal, not even a college caliber.
Absolutely.
So
we think the longest NFL hit in field goal history is 66 by Justin Tucker.
Yeah, this is a little bit out of
that range for Ashton Vogel, but
unfortunately, you'd like to get him another 20 yards at the very least.
Absolutely.
But we'll see what happens. 19.3 seconds is more than you would think.
Still more than enough time to make a play. And there's still 2 timeouts for the Decatur Central Hawks, 1 for the New Palestine Dragons.
And I think, after last year, you got to be very pleased with where we're at right now.
Absolutely.
You don't feel like you feel like this game is within grasp.
Absolutely.
And you got to be very, very happy, even if you go in tied. And Bo's got a wide open.
That is Chris Richmond.
And he gets at least 10 here. So
and gets out of bounds, stopping the clock.
A very big completion. Only 14.2 seconds left, so only a few seconds taken off there.
Absolutely.
And
you got to think, try to get.
So now we're at that 48 range for Ashton Vogel.
Get one more good quick play in here.
And Bo's look for Casey, and he went. That's going to be is that a catch?
Completion?
He is going to call that a catch.
Gets out of bounds
an
once
excellent
again.
job. Is that Richmond once again?
That would be.
Is that? I can't see the jersey number. He's turned
sideways.
I'm trying.
That is.
It looks like 3 to me. It is Chris Richmond. The silky smooth voice of Andy Hofer telling us that is Chris Richmond, the PA announcer for the football games. He is absolutely wonderful, does a phenomenal job, has been here for years, an institution I just recently learned that man has been here for over 25 years, and he is an institution in Decatur. And we're going to drive it forward. There's Albert Aguirre, and we got about 5.2 seconds. Probably called a timeout here, I would assume. Nope.
Clock's
there's the timeout. 2.1 seconds. And we're going to get to see Ashton Vogel take a shot at this.
This will be a decent cook here for Ashton Vogel, but if he hits this, that puts the Decatur Hawks up by 3.
Man, and that would be huge to offset the scoring.
Absolutely. You always look for that lead right before halftime to see if you can capitalize on it coming back into the third quarter.
I remember my dad played at Manual High School in the 60s, and he always said that he said he was a kicker and a punter, and he never, ever, ever got to play. And they always went for 2. So, you know, it is a very nice luxury to have someone that has the ability to kick a field goal from this distance in high school. It's huge. So it looks like we're setting up here. The ball is at the 20.
I believe that is Alex Serber for the long
So this will
snap.
be right at a 40-yard field goal for Ashton Vogel. It is up. It has the distance.
Good.
That is beautiful.
That puts the Decatur Hawks up by 3 going into halftime. The score at halftime will be 24 for your Decatur Central Hawks and 21 for the New Palestine Dragons. We will see you back here after halftime, folks.
Sounds good.
Winner and spearheaded the Hawks to a sectional championship. Calicott was a sprinter and long jumper for the track and field, earning 4 more letters. He holds places in Decatur's top all-time 10 in the long jump, 100 meters and 200 meters. He was a member of the school record-setting 4x100 meter relay team that was also placed in the state finals. He was also on the 4x200 relay team that placed in the school's all-time top 10. Franklin's list of people to thank includes his parents, Franklin and Michelle, brother Brandon, and coaches Mike Gillen, Steve Tutsey, Rick Rosenborough, Dave Oberly, Doug Seagrave, and Kyle Farner. In addition, he thanks all of his awesome teammates. Decatur Hall of Famer and former track coach Kyle Farner is presenting Franklin Calicott with his award. Lucas McNeil, another star in 3 sports for the Hawks who has gone on to success in college and professional football, is Lucas McNeil, who graduated in 2014. Lucas won the IHS AA Championship in the shot put in 2013 with a throw of 61 feet 10 inches. As a state individual champion, he automatically qualifies as a Decatur Hall of Famer. But there was much more to his high school career. He was a starting basketball player who earned all conference honors. As a senior, he averaged 14 points and 16 rebounds a game, using his 6'7" height to full advantage. Football was where Lucas really stood out. He ranked among the top offensive line prospects in the country. On defense, he recorded over 30 quarterback pressures and 6 sacks. He earned offers from many colleges, including North Carolina State, Oklahoma, Indiana, Michigan State, Iowa, Virginia Tech, and Purdue. He went to the University of Louisville, where he was a 4-year starter, playing both tackle and guard. He was drafted by the Oakland Raiders and has played professionally for several teams. He is currently in the NFL training camp and cannot be here tonight. Accepting the Hall of Fame plaque on behalf of Lucas McNeil is his high school head coach and current Director of Athletics, Justin Dixon. Our next inductee is a 2006 graduate, Tommy Norris. Norris was a 2-year letter winner in football and played on the 2005 sectional championship football team. Tommy really stood out on the baseball diamond for the Hawks. He was a 4-year letter winner who was first team All-Marion County, Indianapolis Star, first team, and Mooresville Decatur Times Player of the Year as a senior. He led the 2005 Hawks to a sectional title. He holds distinction as the only player to hit a home run in the same season for the freshman, junior varsity, and varsity Hawks. Tommy played baseball at Parkland College and St. Joseph's College. He has a master's degree in athletic administration from Wayne State University and has held a number of positions in collegiate athletic departments. He is currently Director of Athletics and the Cole Fitness Center at Indiana University Kokomo. Presenting Tommy Norris with his plaque for the Decatur Central Hall of Fame is his former high school teammate, current assistant football coach, and school board member Chase Lyday. Our next inductee is Scott Garber, a member of the class of 2000. He earned 4 varsity letters in football and quarterbacked the Hawks to their first undefeated regular season since 1970 during the 1999 season, finishing 10-1. Scott finished his football career at DC's all-time leading passer. He threw for 5,278 yards during his career. Other records include a total of 2,572 passing yards in a season, 374 total completions in his career, and 166 total completions in a season. Garber earned many accolades for his stint as DC signal caller. He was first team All-Marion County, first team All-Conference, Indiana Football Coaches Association All-State, and first team Indy Star Super Team. Scott has a long list of folks to thank as he is inducted into the Hall of Fame. Include his parents, Charlie and Pam Garber. Other family including Jill, Chad, and Mitch Garber. Billy Rose, Ron Asher, and Kevin Hart for their formative coaching. Decatur coaches, including Mike Gillen, Mark Anderson, Trader, Missy Zimmerman, and the legendary chain gang of Fred Durrett, Mike Serber, and Big Joe Griffith. He thanked the late Dave Rather and Devere Fair for their many years of service to Decatur youth. He thanked all his teammates and especially linemen who left it all on the field. This is a great honor and has produced a lifetime of memories and stories that I can truly say that I'm proud to be a Hawk and know what it takes, Scott said. Presenting Scott Garver with his Hall of Fame plaque is DC Assistant Athletic Director Derek Staten. Sadly, our next inductee, Robert Bob Fincham, passed away in April 2007 at the age of 39. Bob, who graduated in 1986, was one of Decatur's greatest all-around athletes of that decade. He was awarded the 1986 honor as Male Athlete of the Year for the Hawks. He was a 3-sport standout in football, basketball, and track and field. Bob started at quarterback for 3 seasons on the football team, leading the Hawks to a winning season each year. He earned All-Marion County, All-Central Suburban Conference, and All-State honors for his football skills. He was a 4-year letter winner in basketball and averaged double figures in sophomore, junior, and senior seasons. Again, he was named All-County, All-Conference, All-Sectional, and All-State. When the 3-point shot was added at the high school level, Bob became one of Decatur's first long-range threats, and he also ran the offense as point guard. In track, Bob could score points in many events, including hurdles, sprints, long jump, and high jump. He was a regional qualifier in the low hurdles, long jump, and high jump. Several members of the Fincham family are present here this evening to honor Bob. Decatur Central Athletic Hall of Fame Chairman Bill Perdue is honored to present the Hall of Fame induction plaque to Bob's children, Robert Fincham, Jordan Fincham, and Kiana Fincham. Our final Hall of Fame inductee this evening is Coach Dan Clark. Coach Clark retired after 32 years of teaching, 31 of those years in Decatur Township, where he was Teacher of the Year for 2000 and a semifinalist for Indiana Teacher of the Year. He served as Math Department Chairman for 22 years and was Teacher Leader of the Choice Academy. Over a span of 24 years, he was selected Most Influential Teacher by 56 top academic students. The class of 1999 selected him as their graduation speaker. Dan Clark coached 11 seasons for the DCHS wrestling program and 5 seasons as junior varsity baseball coach. As a freshman wrestling coach, he led DC to a Marion County title. In 7 seasons as a varsity assistant, the Hawk Wrestlers won 2 Marion County championships, 6 sectional titles, and a semi-state championship, and finished as state runner-up in both 1990 and 95. Decatur Central had representatives in the state tournament during each of those 7 years, including 4 individual state champions and numerous place finishers. Coach Clark's wife, Julie Clark, is also a Hall of Fame coaching inductee. Coach Clark said, "I was proud to have coached at DCHS and was blessed to work with tremendous young men who were also great athletes. I was fortunate to work on coaching staffs that were filled with talented, dedicated coaches and to have worked for Hall of Fame head coaches." Presenting Coach Dan Clark with his Hall of Fame plaque is Dick McCory, former DC wrestling coach and founding member of the Decatur Athletic Hall of Fame. Hawk fans, let's have a big round of applause for the Decatur Central Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2023. Franklin Calicott, Lucaeus McNeil, Tommy Norris, Scott Garver, Bob Fincham, and Coach Dan Clark. We'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee members for their service as well. Thanks to all of our guests who made it a point to make this Hall of Fame night a special one. Please welcome back to the field the Decatur Central High School Marching Band and Guard. This evening, the band will perform a portion of their fall competitive show titled Fractured Brilliance. Musical selections will include Fly to Paradise, Church Windows, Simple Song, and Hey Sue, and Joy of a Man's Desiring. Drum majors Braden Hartloff, Nick Houston, and Desiree Rojas. The field is yours for your halftime performance.
You're amazing. I will take that.
All right, folks, we are back here at DeVere Fair Stadium. The halftime score, New Pal 21, Decatur Central 24. And big thanks to the Decatur Central Band and Guard, the band led by Adam Bess. I apologize, I don't have the director for the color guard. Try and get you that before the end of the night here. We're very thankful for both of them. I feel like a Friday night is not a Friday night until the band and guard shows up. They are an integral part of that, as well as the cheerleaders and all the other staff that's involved. So we're thankful for all of them.
The New Pal Dragons set to receive the second half kickoff.
So Ashton Vogel set to kick off here. And another boomer into the end zone. Also, I owe an apology to Chris Richmond. I've been calling him Chris Redmond, so my apologies to Chris. He has been lighting it up in the first half. Hopefully we'll get more of Chris Richmond lighting it up in the second half here.
Absolutely.
And he's played exceptional in both ball games, and a very big reason why we came away with a win last Friday, and we are leading 21-24 right now. So you see the defense set up. Vincent, Connor Bentley, Javian Jones, and Bryson Bonawit up front. Steve Oyateo and Albert Aguirre, your linebackers, along with Michael Campbell. Those are your interior defenders. And again, Thomas slashes us up the middle. He may be gone. Elijah Trammell, the only thing between him and the end zone, and he just shoves Trammell right off of him.
But Casimir Hicks with the tackle from behind.
Runs him down to about the 3.
Shout out to Casimir Hicks for the tackle there, saving the touchdown.
And a big play right out of the gate for New Pal. And it looks like Elijah Trammell may be injured there.
Did take a very big fall with that stiff arm there.
And I can almost guarantee you that will put Grayson Thomas over the 100-yard rushing mark for the night.
Absolutely.
And not the way you want the second half to start.
Not at all. We do give our wishes and our wells to Elijah Trammell.
Not sure if he is actually hurt or if maybe he's cramping there. You see, looks like Nicole DeStefano down there with him as he is on the far side there at about the 21-yard line. It looks like he's going to get up, walk this one off. So 13 seconds off the clock there on the Grayson Thomas run.
Definitely not how he wanted to start that.
And that one was about 77 yards there for him. So big task here ahead of the defense to try and keep them out of the end zone. They've got 4 downs to score here. So it'll be first and goal here for Neal in the shotgun here, because he's just going to keep it himself, and he's going to walk in.
Walk in, touchdown.
So big score right out of the gate in about 25 seconds. New Pal regains the lead.
Definitely not how the Decatur Central defense wanted to start that drive, but
yeah, no, and and you score 17 unanswered points, and you knew this wasn't over.
Absolutely
by any means. Like I said, that field goal could loom very large by the end of this game.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, the scoring is offset with that. That's a huge deal.
Brady Armstrong, the holder for the New Pal Dragons.
And New Pal makes it 28-24. I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like Decatur Central has to answer immediately. It'd be wonderful if they did, but a lot of football game left.
Absolutely.
So, that was kind of a quick hitter punch. You got to have a short memory. What they say, have the memory of a goldfish, and go back at it. We are very capable ourselves of answering here, especially the way we played there at the second quarter there. I mean, I felt like we owned that quarter pretty handily. You know, they owned the first, we owned the second.
Just a game of numbers.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a game of momentum. You know, it's just like watching a basketball game. You may be down 15 points at one time and up 8 the next. You know, so it's definitely a game of ebb and flows and momentums here. So let's see if we can do something on the kickoff. I felt like Casimir Hicks almost had something there, you know, a little earlier on a kick return. If we get that opportunity, hopefully we'll have a chance to return it here and kind of pay them back. Folks, we appreciate you guys tuning in. 96, 97 people tuning in right now. We're thankful so much for you. That's Amanda, Neil, I appreciate you. Very kind of you to say. You know, like I said, those groups are just as important on Friday night as the football game. And without all of them, it's not Friday Night Lights. So,
Absolutely not.
Also, former Hawk Cameron Buck tuning in. See Buck, a DJ now, doing wonderful things downtown with his music. So glad to have you, Cameron. And there is the kick, and Casimir Hicks will get a chance. Here he comes out, brings it out past the 15, the 20, makes a cut, tripped up to about the 26. So again, he is a shoestring tackle away from breaking a good one here. And like I said, I feel like the Hawks have been close all night and on breaking something. And we're waiting. The anticipation is killing us. So,
Absolutely.
you know, not that they haven't done big things. They've done some great things. You know, the Inpo Dodo touchdown was unexpected. It looked like he was stuck there at the end of the line, and he planted his foot and got upfield, and good things happened for him. Same with the Chris Richmond touchdown earlier. Big things. Love to see it, man. Bo Polston has hit on some things. He's had some great runs. And we hope those things continue as we see a jet sweep here. And looks like that's Richmond once again. He may get a few here as he gets strung out. I think he had to get a little wider than he had anticipated there, and only picks up a couple.
He's a little limping a little bit there.
Yeah, we got folks from Connorsville. Bert Spillman watching tonight. Appreciate you, Bert, watching all the way out there in Connorsville.
Richmond a little shucking up on that play.
Yeah, that was one of those weird runs where you run 20 yards to get 2. That's a lot.
Casimir Hicks in replace for Richmond at the moment.
So near us, Carson Eisen, Kaz Hicks up top, and there's the pass gets knocked down at the line of scrimmage by number 24, Mason Hyatt of the Dragons.
Looked like he was looking for Casimir Hicks on that play.
Yeah, I think so, and he just got a lot of pressure there. That's tough to throw it through a gentleman.
Especially the linemen, they got those lengthy arms.
6 foot tall, 181-pound young man.
Especially with guys like those, they got those lengthy arms. You got to try to get through, otherwise it's going to be batted down.
Yeah, and I mean, he just did what he was trained to do. I mean, that's exactly what you teach when you run that little corner blitz. And he just happened to get between the ball and Bo and won that one. And Bo's looking for a quick one here. I don't know if this is going to do it.
Carson Eisen.
And Carson maybe gets a few there. He's going to go out of bounds. It'll bring up 4th and long 7 or 6 or 7 here.
Definitely not how they wanted to start their second half. But
No, no. And it just shows you how quickly it can go from promising to stalling.
Absolutely. Losing Elijah Trammell on the first play of the second half was definitely.
And looks like there's a little confusion here on the punt team. We got looks like we're getting it sorted out there as Impo Dodo comes out. And we're going to see the Ashton Vogel punt it away here. And hopefully get some time here. They definitely bring folks on their kick coverage as it bounces back, and it's going to take a new pal bounce, and they'll start from their own 47-yard line.
The New Pal Dragons looking to try to capitalize on the 4 and out. So here comes Neal, ready to construct this offense. Looking for another score. Obviously, Thomas with having one heck of a game tonight.
And there's a jet sweep in there for, I believe that's Crop. Miller Crop. Trying the end around there. Looks like he's going to pick up about 4 or 5. So it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Tackled by Stephen Oteo.
And again, he was a standout last week. Stephen Oteo is a verified man.
Absolutely.
He is a dog out there. I mean, you see him, he looks the part, number 34. And there he is, shedding through, and he makes a tackle again.
Stephen Oteo, another one of those seniors.
Shedding through blocks and jumping on like a lion jumping on a gazelle. He is just a man among boys. And hey, Michelle Lukensberry, just want to let you know we just checked the sound, so it looks like it's working from our end. Just wanted to verify that. Sorry, hopefully it'll work for you. Maybe you can restart and try again, but it seems to be working fine from our end. So that's something that we looked at and addressed here. And again, another run for a short gain will probably bring up 4. Yeah, it looks like 4th and 1 there for New Pal. I'm going to guess that was Grayson Thomas once again. So they're going to be knocking at the door. I'm going to guess they're going to go for it here because it's 3rd and maybe a half yard, about a foot or so now for New Pal here. And I'm sure they're going to bring in the heavy package, all the big boys that they can. And so, was there? They're going to measure here. Okay, I wondered why New Pal was backing up. Awesome,
Albert
Michelle.
Aguirre at the bottom of that tackle pile there. You think about it, Albert Aguirre, Stephen Atoyo, and all them, Brendan, Vincent, all seniors looking to do great things, moving on with their football careers.
And you think with Albert Aguirre alone, he has a lot to prove. He lost his entire junior season before it even started.
Yeah.
And, last week did he ever prove it? If you're a college coach and you're looking for a linebacker, I mean, that young man is readily made to step in and play.
Absolutely.
And just like Stephen Ateo, I mean, he is a man.
They're going to pick up the 1st down and more.
And then some. And there's going to be a penalty flag there. I don't know if it's a late hit or what on that far side. And it looks like that was Crop.
Pharrell Carter and Brandon Vincent in there to push him out of bounds.
Kyler Crop, the ball carrier for the Dragons. And he scampers out there. Probably a gain of about 15 or so on the play. So hopefully we'll see what the penalty is. It's going to be against your Hawks. They're going to mark that off, so he'll get an extra. A face mask penalty on the Hawks. We hear from our great announcer, Andy Hofer.
Soothing voice of the night.
So hopefully we can get some juice here. I feel like, and I'll say that for myself, I feel like I'm kind of running on energy as we got a blitz, and that was a safety blitz there from Michael Campbell, or excuse me, a linebacker blitz for Campbell. He just went full bore through the line unblocked, and he kind of missed on the quarterback, but he made him stutter there, and he was able to be tackled for a very short gain. So it looks like our defense is taking some chances, stiffening up a little bit here. This would be a big stop to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it looks like we're going to have that jet sweep, and instead they're going to fake it, hand it off, and there's Crop again. He's running over the corner. He's going to walk in. That's tough to try and run that guy down at the point of attack when you're chasing him from behind.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, is this not a deja vu of the first half?
Deja vu the
Give
first
up
half, indeed.
two quick scores here. The big difference, instead of being down 14, you're only down 10.
Absolutely.
I guess in this case it'd be 11. So that 3 points, we hope is a game changer.
Absolutely.
It makes a difference, but you don't have the touchdowns to go with it.
And even down, 11, you can still hear this hometown Hawks crowd going crazy. And
you are not out of this at all, in the least. In the very least, you still have a chance.
That offense is always going to click back in when you need them the most.
You'd like to see the energy here, pop up.
Absolutely.
And this week I watched the Netflix series Untold called Swamp Kings about Florida, and you see Tim Tebow jump in the mix and lose his mind and fire his fellas up. And he's only got 2 national championships and a Heisman Trophy to show for it. So, I like to see some Tim Tebow and Bo Polston here, and I think we will.
Absolutely. Bring it up, Tim Tebow. I've been watching that documentary on Netflix, quarterback with Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota, man. You learn a lot, and it takes skill to play at that position they play in and do what they do.
There's just so much involved with being a quarterback. I mean, on the high school level alone, it's extraordinary, and then you bump it up to the college and the pro level. I mean,
absolutely. It gets tougher as you go far and far, but Jake Wells here to kick it off for the New Palestine Dragons.
Again, Casimir Hicks and Inpo Dodo again, I believe, are back deep. Kaz on the far side, and he will get another shot. Again, he's been knocking on the door. He's been close, and tough return there. Brings
about
it
the 26, 27-yard line.
Spot on. So it looks like, I don't know if Kaz is down there or if he's just, I need a second. Give me a second to help me get up. Yeah, he did get a little rolled up. He's going to walk that off. It begs the question, are you hurt or are you injured? I'm just hurt.
Question. You never want to be at the bottom of that pile, but
you never want to be injured. It's okay to be hurt, but don't be injured.
Don't be injured, be hurt.
You can rub some dirt on hurt.
Absolutely.
You got to go to the doctor for injured.
Yep.
No, and I'll be honest. These guys are tough. They're going to play through bumps and bruises. I guarantee you, most of these guys tomorrow are going to have bruised up forearms and legs. And
good thing is they get the weekend to rest and
lots of ice baths, my friend.
Absolutely.
Lots of ice baths.
Come back in Monday strong and ready for their next matchup.
So we got Bo Polston in an empty backfield. 2 wide receivers to the side. He's going to take a jet sweep. And Bo actually is going to keep it, and he's going to run into a big pile, but he's got about five on the players. You see the sidelines cheer here. Getting a little fired up here on our side.
And as a reminder, next week, the New Palestine Dragons will be playing Yorktown, and the Decatur Central Hawks will be playing at Whiteland.
The Tigers come to Hancock County, and we invade Johnson County as the vaunted Whiteland Warriors, who are my neighbors. I literally live a couple blocks from Whiteland High School, and they expect to have a great season. Obviously, they went to a state championship game in 4A last year, and they expect to win it this year. So they're very hyped in Whiteland. So it doesn't get any easier for your Hawks. They play a pretty talented Columbus North team in week 1. Then you come back home, you play your home opener against New Pal Dragons, who are always in the top 10 of 5A year in, year out since the Kyle Ralph era. You could say the same thing about Decatur Central. And then it doesn't get any easier. You go to Whiteland, who's coming off a state runner-up, and they didn't lose hardly anybody. They still have a very, very good offensive line and run the jet sweep. And well after the play, that ball was ripped out. So that's going to be a first down for Carson Eisen and your Hawks.
You talk about these two teams being physical enough. You think of other teams that Decatur Central plays against, teams like Mooresville.
Sure.
Some very bad blood, if you will, behind those two teams.
And let's be honest, their former head coach, or their current head coach, is a former Decatur Central head coach. So that doesn't get you started. You
He
know, I don't know what
knows
does.
his way around this offense and this defense.
Yeah, he's been around it, and nothing but positive things about Mike Gillen, and he's a heck of a football coach. I mean, you see what he's done at Mooresville.
Absolutely.
They've been very successful in the Mike Gillen, Casey Gillen era.
Pass here to Casimir Hicks.
Excellent play to him. And again, I like what Casimir Hicks brings to this offense. He is the kid with the quick screen, quick hitter, get up the sideline. Looks like he's crampy, a little bit crampy there.
Being on all three sides of the ball tonight is showing on Mr. Casimir Hicks.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I talk to a lot of guys. Big shout out to Nicole DeStefano. She does a wonderful job of making sure these guys are hydrated. She gets on them at the beginning of the week, drinking your Pedialyte, drinking your Gatorade. As you see a false start on our Hawks there, one of the linemen got a little excited and forgot the snap count, so happens. But I got to be honest, man. One thing that kind of I felt like plagued us last year was penalties.
Absolutely.
And knock on wood, I don't want to jinx anything. I don't feel like it's been that bad today. It's been
not at all.
Pretty reasonable.
Pretty even between both teams, penalty-wise.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As Bo Polston does a little shuffle, and he's got a man wide open, but he has overthrown him. And I believe that is Chris Richmond once again. Just a little bit, led him just a little bit too far. Maybe Chris got bumped a little bit down there, but not enough to draw that pass interference. And Sales incomplete will bring up 3rd and 7. So still a 3rd and long, but you like that a heck of a lot better than 3rd and 9?
Absolutely, 3rd and 16.
Yeah, I'll take that. Or as Mr. Hofer says, 3rd and Kentucky Avenue. 3rd in Morgan County. So here we go, a big 3rd down play here from the 33. Bo Polston's going to roll out to his right, and he's going to throw, and a wide open Farrell Carter, and he makes the catch, and he takes a licking over there on the sideline, and he is down a little bit. I don't know if he needs a minute to get up, or there he is, and he's going to limp it off. Again, guys, getting popped and getting up and walking it off. Just shows you the tough. Farrell doesn't want to come out. He wants to stay, hit me a play, and tell me where to line up. It says Farrell Carter. You stay
One
off.
heck of a playmaker for the Decatur Central Hawks.
Yeah, that's why I mean, in all honesty, he's made a big difference. Almost every catch, and we get an extra 15 for roughing the passer.
You see Chris Richmond fired up about that one.
Yeah, New Pal gave Bo Polston a hit after the play was over. And we talk about mistakes. They've made another here. So
absolutely moving those chains.
In high school football, free 15 yards is a big deal here.
Like you said earlier, rather be 15 yards closer than 15 yards backwards.
No doubt. And I see Josh Lawson tuning in tonight. His son is a football player, a former Hawk. He's Ron Colley Royal now. Good luck to your son Jackson in his season. Wish him well. As Bo Polston has Farrell Carter in motion, he's going to go downfield.
Looking deep. He's got him.
My goodness. Bo Polston just threw a
what
dart.
A catch by Enpo Dodo.
An absolute dart to Enpo Dodo.
One heck of a play by him to make that catch and get the yards and move the chains for the Decatur Central Hawks, putting us one step closer to that end zone.
Number 12 demonstrating why he has offers from schools like Indiana University. He has Big Ten offers as a sophomore. That is a big boy throw.
Absolutely.
And a next level throw there. And he just put it right on Enpo Dodo. So Polston in shotgun. And he hands it off to Enpo, who's going to do a little dancing. And he's going to make hay while the sun shines there and pick up about 3 or 4 there on first down. And that's a nifty run. So Enpo Dodo with back-to-back plays here. a wonderful catch on an absolute laser by Bull Poston, and a nice little run where he shook a couple guys in the hole, got outside, picked up 4. So we're 2nd down and 6 here, and we are knocking on the door. We are at the 9-yard line, and we could still get a 1st down if we get it to the 3. So Polston in a shotgun. He's got Info with him. Bo is going to keep it and kind of run into a wall and be pushed back there. So I believe he's still got 1 or 2 here. So 4:22 and counting. He picked up 1 there, so it brings up 3rd and 5. An important juncture, you like to match a touchdown. I know you're still down 4 if you score here, and it kind of makes you wonder if they score, would they go for 2? I don't know what the script says you're supposed to when you're down 11. And Bull Poston just going to roll this in himself.
Touchdown, Bull Poston.
They're marking him short.
Wow.
And I'm not going to lie, I thought the tidal wave
was in.
hit the shore of the end zone there. I felt like he rode that in. So anyhow, first down and goal from the 2-inch line.
You can only wonder that they're going to have to run this in, right?
And I believe this
quarterback sneak.
This is called 30 wedge, and they're not going to give it to him, even though he probably got the ball across the goal line, but they are not going to give it to him. They're not calling it a touchdown, and I don't know how it's not.
Of course, like you said, no reviews in.
The ball just has to nip the plane of the goal line, the front part of it. That's it. And on that last play, I don't know how that did not happen. So I agree to disagree with that thing.
Yep, like you said, no reviews in high school football.
No.
So
and this
gonna have to live with that one.
Right now, if they choose to run that play again, Javian Jones has to be better than the man in front of him.
Absolutely.
Period. End of story. And that's all it is.
Absolutely.
So he's got to snap it and drive, and they're just going to go off tackle.
And
that's
off
easy.
That is Enho Dodo.
And I'll be honest, he deserves that score on that drive. And I couldn't agree with you more, Crystal Rogers. That looked like a touchdown from up here as well. But
I 100% agree with that, and he definitely deserved that after moving the chains and getting us down that far.
Yep, and so here's my point. We go for 2 here. It makes it 32-35. A field goal ties it. If you don't, and it's 4, and it's kind of a weird number. So it's a moot point. So I'm going to assume we're going for 2, but Bo Polston's going back out there. So.
It's like you said earlier, just a game of momentum.
So here we go. Bull Polston in the shotgun. The 2-point conversion here. You've got Carson Eisen, Chris Richmond, Inpo, and Pharrell Carter up top. Bo goes right back to Eisen and incomplete. So the 2-point conversion has failed. So we would have to score a touchdown to take the lead. Either way, I mean, it's like, man.
Someone down on the field there.
Okay, who?
Is that Bo Polston?
I hope not, and I don't think so.
It did look like he got hit after the play, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
I can't tell from up here.
I'm looking for 12 on the sideline, and I don't see him. So
I don't either. So this may.
Yeah, it is
That
Bo.
is Bo Polston.
Dusting himself off there. He looks like maybe he just took a hit after the play.
Looks like he got a little hit in the ribs.
Trying to watch the replay here and see.
Hip or the ribs, maybe.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
But he took that hit as he tried to let that ball go, so they may have to make a change of quarterback next possession.
Yeah, he took a shot right as he let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
You never like seeing that your starting quarterback go down with an injury.
No, heck no. Yeah, and I think they're talking to see if maybe, I don't know, the officials are talking, which is usually something. You know, I don't know if that's a roughing the passer call, but it looks like they've split up and decided negative on that. So
Austin Vogel out here to kick for the Decatur Central Hawks.
So again, you make it, it helps, but if you don't, it doesn't hurt as much as you would think. So, but again, a big payoff to Inpo Dodo for some great play on that drive. He deserved to score that, and that doesn't always happen.
I think that marks up his second touchdown of the night.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do believe so.
So him having himself a game.
So 2:53 here in the third. And Decatur Central and Ashton Vogel set to kick off, and a high flying kick is going to be fielded at the 3, and they're bringing it out. I'm not sure if that is prop. And he's lost the football.
He lost it. Fumble.
And Decatur might have it. I think we may. And
that have to wait till see who pops up at the bottom of the pile.
And a couple guys are saying Decatur Central has it.
Decatur Central has it. That was picking.
Wow.
Braden Smith with the pickup on the ball.
That's huge. Braden Smith.
Braden Smith moving the chains for his team, hoping that that'll help his team in the process and hopefully eventually take the lead.
And prop.
What a play by Decatur Central special teams.
Huge.
Brought that fact up earlier. Special teams is one of those teams. One of those spots.
And you're hoping that, that's a second turnover for New Pal today. So you're hoping that will turn into something here, and you get the ball on the New Pal 40. So you're on the opposite side of the 50-yard line. That's humongous.
Real question is, who will they throw in at quarterback here?
Yeah, and Bo's walking out. I see Bo. I see Casey Berry. I see Chris Richmond. I see Albert Aguirre out here. Looks like we've got Carson Eisen nearest us.
Javen Jones, Alex Serber.
Casey Berry's going to be in the slot there. We've got two receivers on the far side, probably Pharrell Carter and Inpo. And he's going to fake the handoff, and Bo's going to throw. Bo's going for a touchdown on the first play.
Oh.
And I'll be honest, that's right where you want it if you're Bo Polson.
Another man down on the field, though.
Yeah, and Pharrell laid out for that. I'm sure he hit his ribs. I don't know if he's knocked the air out of himself, but yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, that's a great throw. At first, I thought it was underthrown, and they kind of slowed down in the group.
Miss Nicole running out there to go check on.
And I think Pharrell just fell on his ribs there.
It's definitely not what you like seeing, the amount of people that have gone down this half.
It's a huge, hot, humid night. It's super hot, super humid. It's a bit of a grudge match here. You've got two teams, and let's be honest, folks. This has been entertaining as all get out for Indiana high school football. No matter what the outcome, if you're watching this game or you're here, you're getting your money's worth. This has been phenomenal thus far. So kudos to Pharrell Carter for just laying out and trying to get that. I hate to say it, I wish he would have ran through it and not jumped at it. I felt like he could have caught it if he just ran through, but the effort is tip of the cap big time to Pharrell Carter, who's walking off. Maybe he just knocked the wind out of himself.
Absolutely, but
that's tough, man.
Props to that kid for trying to make a play like that.
Played his tail off tonight. That kid's had a great game thus far, and I expect him to continue. I think he'll be all right. He'll get a little bit of ice, a little bit of water.
Absolutely. Again, shout out to Miss Nicole for everything she does out there.
Yeah, take some deep breaths, and we'll pat him on the tail and send him back out here in a second. Now, with that being said, second down and 10, 2:36 to go. So, again, we've got Carson Eisen nearest us, Casey Berry next to Bo Polston. We're going to send Albert Aguirre in motion, which means we're going to run at Albert. Nope, he's going to throw. And a short passing game out to Casimir Hicks, who, let's be honest, Casimir Hicks, super sub. You bring a receiver out and put Casimir Hicks in, I'm cool with that. So 2:20 to go. We're in the hurry-up. Bo Polston with Casey Berry behind him. And looks like we've got Casimir Hicks and Inpo Dodo on that far side and Carson Eisen nearest us. I'd like to see Carson Eisen do something here. I think he's in a point where he could step up and get something here. I'd like to see something happen with Mr. Eisen. Not sure if we can, but he's very capable. And looks like we're going to call timeout. Maybe there's some confusion here. And good on Kyle Enright. You know, guys look like they were getting a little frustrated out here.
Absolutely, they're not enjoying seeing their guys go down like this.
Well, I think it's just it's you put that play together after a nice play, and you know, and as you can see, Farrell's back out. Like
Absolutely.
I said, just a little bump. But I think, you know, Coach Enright sensed them getting a little frustrated, a little flustered. Let's
Give
take
them
a
a break
deep breath,
and chill out.
calm down, make sure that we're sure everybody knows where they're going. And so the Hawks have 2 timeouts remaining, and New Pal has all 3 of theirs. We've got 1:49 here in the third at this timeout. The score right now, New Pal 35, Decatur Central 30. And Decatur Central has the ball in New Pal territory. And it's 3rd down and about 2 to go right here. It'd be nice to move the chains a little further. A touchdown would be huge right now.
Absolutely.
But let's just keep that where it is for now, and hopefully we can work towards it here. So 3rd and 2. I can imagine we're going to run the ball, and instead we got a little inside. And Carson Eisen drops the pass. It was in his hands. A surefire first down here. Instead, it's 4th and 2. And I mentioned that I felt like Carson Eisen was going to get his number called here.
Absolutely.
And you know, he's better than that, and I'm sure he regrets it worse than anybody else. So just a quality young man, and he is a talent, but you got to catch that ball first, and then you can turn.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go for it here, it looks like. Here comes Bo Polston has the play.
4th down and 2.
I would not be surprised if Bo calls his own number here.
I wouldn't
But nope,
either.
another quick pass to Farrell, and he secures
I
it.
think that's caught.
For the first down. And I'll be honest, man. This the quick 5-6 yard speedy guys fire out on their routes, turn, and the ball's right there. I like that. I think that works really well for this group. Mix it in with a little bit of run. I think that could be the MO.
We love the 4th down conversions here.
So 1st and 10 on a Bo Polston to Farrell Carter pass. And a little low, but Bo's going to pick it up, and he was going to try and run, and he did the smart thing. He had 2 guys right on top of him immediately, and so he just sat down. And something happened to one of the New Pal players. He's down there in the backfield. I'm not really sure. Not really sure what happened. It looks like he's cramping. So we start seeing guys on both sidelines cramping up here. It is a unbelievably humid night. I believe the temperature was as high as, 97 today?
97 today.
Yeah, that's insane.
Luckily, I'm pretty sure today should be the last day for the hottest.
Yeah.
One of the hotter days of.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to rain some this weekend, so that'll help tremendously.
That's always good.
But,
you know, the body always cramps up in the hot weather. So
I don't know what the fancy weather word is, but the feels like temperature
absolutely
at one point was 107. I mean, that's insane. So now with that being
fancy
said,
word
though,
is index.
my family in Louisiana, when I talk to them, it's been over 100 degrees for the last 15, 17 days. So, you know,
I had a friend who took one of the worst weekends to go down to Texas.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I know that Louisiana is setting records for temperatures, and
yeah,
that's unusual.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, so 2nd and 16 now after the Bo Polston had to bail out there, but live to fight another day. And there's the fake of the handoff. Bo throws it in a seam.
And it's almost intercepted.
So 4 people touched that pass between Farrell Carter and 3 New Pal defenders, and it found the turf, thankfully. I know, Kelly Cook, I apologize. My meteorologic terminology is not so great.
Happens to the best of us.
We admit fault here at DCTV and DCHS Live when we're wrong.
Absolutely.
So that pass falling down makes it 3rd and 16 with 39.4 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The score, New Pal 35, Decatur Central 30. Bull Poston in the shotgun. He drops back to pass. Good pickup by Albert Aguirre, and it looked like it was intended for Chris Richmond and just overthrew him and missed the connection there. So it'll bring up 4th. 4th and 16, and I'm sure we'll get a punt here. We may get a field goal attempt. I'm not sure. Is this within Ashton Vogel's range? This would be a 50-yarder.
I think.
Will it be 50 or will it be 47? Yeah, we're going to give this a shot, boys and girls. I like this.
You got to love the plays.
So here we go.
Ashton Vogel definitely has the leg to do this.
And great snap. The kick is up. It is no good. It's going to be wide right. So valid attempt here for Ashton Vogel.
Decision.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go for it. You got that kid. He's got the leg. I don't know if it would have been good if he was dead center, but it was pretty close. So
just a little more height on that ball, possibly.
A good attempt there by Ashton Vogel. Like I said, good snap, good hold by Bryson Bonowit. It just was not meant to be. So 30-35 the score still. Decatur Central trails by 5. New Pal will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. So that missed field goal is the same as a touchback at this point, or punt back then. So Neal will be in the shotgun. He's got Grayson Thomas to his right, and that's who will get it, Grayson Thomas.
And he gets pushed back, and that tackle is made by number 29. That is Jalen Shanks.
And I saw Steve Owateo, and I also saw Vincent back there, Brandon Vincent, in that backfield. So Grayson Thomas had a banner night, but he lost 3 on that play.
It seemed they might just let this. We got to run one more play before the fourth quarter.
And there's another. Looking. Neal was
scrambling.
Finally under some pressure, and you are not getting past Steve Owateo. Or is that Albert Aguirre?
It's 35. That'd be Albert Aguirre.
A great open field tackle by Albert, but there is a penalty flag. And it looks like holding on the New Palestine Dragons. So we will take a wonderful tackle by Albert Aguirre and tack on penalty yards.
And that play will end the third quarter, leading us into the final quarter of the game.
And I'll be honest, I felt like the offensive line of New Pal coming into this game would be a huge factor. And I don't really feel like, don't get me wrong, they've had plenty of very nice long runs, but it's not been dominant as I thought they would be. However, with that being said, Neal has not been sacked. He's had plenty of time. They've had a few big runs broke off, so they are very good, folks. Don't think I'm not trying to give them credit where the credit's due. They are very, very good.
Absolutely.
But you would think with the caliber of linemen that they have, they would be able to run at will, and that's just not been the case. So
absolutely not.
Really, I guess to make a long story short, big tip of the cap to our defensive line and our linebackers, because they've done a nice job. So here we are in the fourth quarter. Everybody get your 4 up. 12 minutes to go in the entire football game. 3rd down and 9 for New Pal. 5-point difference. New Pal leads 35-30 over your Hawks. And for those of you that watched this game last year, that is a stark difference in what you saw.
Obviously, you cannot count out Decatur Central's defense or offense. Only down 5 with a good chunk of football left to play.
Yeah.
So
well, and right now we have a defensive turnover, so we're winning the turnover battle. We got another turnover on special teams, which is a bonus. You don't expect that. And here we go. Neal's in the shotgun. He's got Grayson Thomas to his right. He's going to go downfield. He's going to run.
Take off.
And he ain't going
nowhere. In pursuit, number 35. That's Albert Aguirre.
Albert Aguirre puts a shot on that young man, Neil, who is sitting there for a second.
He's making his statement.
Yeah,
I missed one season. I'm back.
And I'll be honest, that was a legal hit. He was well inbounds before Aguirre got to him.
Absolutely.
And so he is just cramping over there.
Neil a little shooken up after that hit.
And there he goes back over to the other side. And I'll be honest, I'm impressed with Neil. He's had a great game. He's very shifty. Gavin Neal, number 8, makes good choices. He's tucked the ball and ran effectively a few times.
Absolutely. And he's taken some hits today in this game, and he has walked them right off. So you got to give big respect to him.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. They're a good football team.
Absolutely. So Decatur Central is going to get the ball back here with 11:47 left to play in the fourth quarter. Hoping to make some strides on offense here and put the lead back in their hands.
Yeah, and we're going to get another chance here. Great job by the defense on that round. That clearly goes to your Hawks, and Newpound's going to punt. And nice tall punt here, and Pharrell Carter's trying to make something happen, and somehow he slips away.
Slips through a tackle.
He's got space.
He goes. He's got space.
He needs
blockers.
Lost. And he's still on his feet.
He's still on his feet. The flag down on the play.
I didn't really get to see what happened there towards the end or where the flag came out. So I don't know if this is going to be like a block in the back or what's going on here. But there's definitely a penalty flag here. I'm going to try and watch the replay on the phone here and see if I can figure it out. And I don't see a block in the back, so I don't know if it's a face mask, personal foul on the Hawks for some reason. I don't know exactly what constituted that personal foul. I did not see it in the replay or at the actual time, but officials calling a personal foul for something. So it'll be still 1st and 10 from the 41, from Decatur Central's 41. So 11:37 to go, 35-36. This would be a huge drive to score on here. Both teams are beaten up a little bit.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens here. As you see Albert Aguirre go in motion, Bo Polston in shotgun. He's going to hand it off. He actually kept it, and he's going to squirt forward for about 6-yard gain on 1st down.
That didn't trick only the defense. That tricked us announcers as well.
Again, folks, I feel like that is something that Bo Polston excels out tremendously, is making that decision.
That's what I like. He knows that timing. He knows when to take that ball back into his hands and knows when to let go.
And you can see that young man is playing banged up a little bit.
Absolutely.
So gutsy performance by him watching this. He's had a rough off season, and just to have him there playing right now is pretty remarkable. And then see what he's doing. I mean, that just tells you everything.
Albert Aguirre in motion.
And Bo's going downfield. He's got space, and he's got Richmond.
That's Richmond.
Richmond makes a great cut.
Makes a juke. He's looking. He's pushing. He's down at the 8, maybe 10-yard line.
And you could see, if you watch Bo Polston on that play, he knew exactly what he was doing right away.
What an amazing play by Bo Polston and Chris Richmond, connecting on that play for big yardage, putting us closer to that end zone.
As soon as he planted his back foot, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Making a defender miss for even extra yardage. What a play by Chris Richmond and Bo Polston.
So again, Polston throws another dart to a different wide receiver. That's something that I can't recall us having in quite some time, is a myriad of guys that can play at receiver. That's huge. So
and Poe Dodo next to Bo Polston.
And Polston's going to keep it again, and he's got a little bit of room. A nice open field tackle. Excellent job by Caden Jacobia. And just, that's exactly how you write that up.
Absolutely.
So 2nd down and 13 now. Or, well, it's still goal, 2nd and goal from the 13. So,
absolutely. I can definitely tell that ankle has been bothering Bo since the start of the 3rd.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely going to be Ice Bucket City
Absolutely.
come tonight and tomorrow. A couple former Hawks watching. Cole Cravens, my old freshman center. Great time with Cole Cravens, coaching him here at Decatur Central. Also, another standout offensive lineman, Trent Maynard, the former Miami of Ohio Red Hawk.
Decatur Central taking the time out here.
Also, Trent helped coach offensive line for a little while here, so big fan of both of those gentlemen. We appreciate you guys watching and tuning in. So you think here at this point you go for the offensive linemen just keep tuning in. Mike Lloyd, who is a firefighter these days, former offensive lineman for the Hawks, tuning in. We appreciate all you guys tuning in. Right now we're at 163 viewers. We can't thank you guys enough.
Absolutely. So the Hawks are going to have one timeout here with 9:54 left to play in the quarter.
Yeah, and I mean at this point, it's kind of an odd thing. You're in a position where you're this close to the goal line. You're 13 yards away from a touchdown. Do you use all 4 of your downs? Because if you don't get it, well, then they just take over at like the 10 or the 30, wherever you end up at here.
Absolutely. And you have to think they preserve that final timeout till the end, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure Coach will use that later in the game. Mike Ressler, what's up, buddy? Good to see you guys.
Albert
Appreciate you
Aguirre in
tuning
motion here for the Hawks. Bill Polstein
And the
with
ball
a
gets
low
away.
snap.
And the biscuit wheels falling off the gravy train here a little bit.
Making that 3rd and goal from...
Again, we talked about it right off the bat. Mistakes. Whoever makes the fewest amount of mistakes, and that's definitely one there. That's a huge.
Now you have to think, though, they could benefit off of this with the more open field that they have.
Yeah, I mean, it maybe gives you a little bit of room to work, but
you still hate being at the.
Your coach Enright, you'll take the ball 1st and goal from the 9 and keep it there.
Absolutely.
So
you hate being 28
shotgun.
yards away on the 3rd. So
Polston this shotgun. Albert Aguirre goes out blocking. Polston's going to just throw it up for Pharrell Carter, and Pharrell stopped. I don't know why he stopped. Oh, I think Pharrell would like to have that one back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he just kind of stopped. I don't know why he ended his route early there in the end zone.
So it'll be 4th down with 28 yards to go. So they're going to call out Ashton Vogel here to kick the field goal.
And, when we talked about earlier, it's a big difference between 1st and goal from the 9 and 4th and goal from the 28. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, you kick a field goal here and you take the points. I just hear former wide receivers coach. That's a great kick. Great kick by Ashton Vogel.
That cuts the lead down to 2. Decatur Central Hawks 33 and New Pal High School Dragons 35.
Yep. And you feel a whole lot better about that than you do about what happened prior. So coming away with points there is huge. And my goodness. I just think about former coach Adam Moranci. I guarantee he would have yelled, keep running, why did you stop your route?
Absolutely.
So, and I'm sure nobody more than Pharrell hates that. And I can guarantee you he'll make up for it. He'll do better.
He'll definitely wish to have that one back.
For sure. And but hey, you know what? He's part of the reason why they were down there close.
Absolutely, you were
for
right
us
about
to
that.
put points on the board. A huge juncture right here in the game. 9 minutes to go, and 2 points deficit right here.
Absolutely.
So right now, this game is on our defense's back. They have the ability to step up,
So Ashton Vogel here to kick for the Decatur Central Hawks. New Power receiving the ball with 9 minutes to go left in the game.
Yeah. So Vogel once again to show off the leg here. Touchback would be nice to force him to go 80 yards.
Absolutely.
To do anything. A 3 and out would be better. So Ashton Vogel puts a foot in it. A high spinning kick, and he's going to get a chance to return it here. And squeeze in the middle here, and a nice tackle by
Michael Campbell.
Michael Campbell.
Michael Campbell, number 4.
A star in the making in Michael Campbell. He will be a name to remember for years here in the future.
And you know he loves that one for him.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, you saw him celebrate, and he deserved it. He should have. So 8:54.
Again, we appreciate everybody here tonight in the attendance and everyone watching on Facebook or YouTube.
And you can hear the Decatur Central crowd getting very involved. A lot of students out there tonight and a lot of alumni for the Hall of Fame induction. And there's Grayson Thomas.
Grayson Thomas, Michael Campbell, and Albert Aguirre in for the nice double tackle there to stop them.
And you see Grayson Thomas' ability to cut in the middle of a hole and create a few extra yards. But looks like he's jammed a finger or something. He's holding his hand. He's out. And
looks like they'll be bringing in number 10. That is Micah Clark.
And they'll probably be moving Crop over to the running back. That's what they've done earlier. So, yeah, so it looks like Crop is back there in the running back spot, and he will get the ball. He probably feels like
runs
he needs
right into a wall. Michael Campbell there with Albert Aguirre, Bryson Bonowit and Steven Oteo. Those are some names, especially Michael Campbell now here in the fourth quarter, showing up big for the defense.
Yeah, he's made a handful of big tackles here in the third and fourth quarter.
Absolutely. And these are definitely tackles he'll be talking about this weekend and all throughout practice.
And if it's not Albert Aguirre, it's Steven Oteo, it's Vincent.
So third down and 3 to go. This Decatur Central home crowd getting hyped up here.
Grayson Thomas has space up the middle, and he will fall forward for a
tackled
first down.
by Michael Campbell.
So Campbell has shouldered the load since the kick return here on this drive. He has 4 tackles in this drive alone. However, we would like some tackles for the loss. And somebody's going to – is there a timeout here on the play? I wonder if New Pal took their first timeout here. But you feel like if it's not Albert Aguirre making the tackle, Steve Oteo, we've said his name a lot, Bryson Bonowit, we've said Vincent a few times, we've said Michael Campbell quite a bit here. It is not just one guy, folks. It is quite a few.
Absolutely. And the Decatur Central defense is loving them for themselves. Obviously, didn't want to give up that play there, but
so 1st and 10. Do you take a shot here if you're New Pal? They're just going to keep running it with Grayson Thomas.
Runs right into a wall. The entire
Michael Campbell again, assisted by Javian Jones.
Man, you got to give props to Michael Campbell. He has been on it this last few minutes, especially this drive. 5 or 6 defensive tackles now.
He has had a nose for the football.
And that's what you got to love as a coach. You got to. So 2nd down and 6.
And right now the clock is on New Pal's side. We're going to have some sort of a stop in the backfield.
Absolutely.
And Grayson Thomas, excellent job there.
Runs right into a wall, and there goes a helmet.
Somebody's hat, Javian Jones's hat came off. He's going to have to come out of play, unfortunately, so they're going to have to send another defensive lineman in for him.
That's 29. That would be Jalen Shanks.
And Jalen Shanks is a thick young man. And apologies, David Garrett. The only thing that I can tell you is maybe to, completely get out of the app and come back in and try it again. Unfortunately, I apologize. I don't know that there's anything we can do from our end. Everything seems to be running from this situation, so apologies to you. So here we go. Neal with the snap. He's going to hand it off to Grayson Thomas, who jump cuts, and he is off to the races. He is deadly in the hole.
Eric Amanfo, the only man who was there between him and the goal line, and that will result in a touchdown for the New Palestine Dragons. So you have to think the Decatur Central Hawks get the ball back with about 5 minutes 50 left to play.
The big problem is it's going to be a 9-point lead if they kick the extra point. there is no such thing as a 9-point play in football. So we are going to have to score twice. Unless we block this punt or this extra point. That's the only thing that will give us a shot here. Is it impossible? No. Is it improbable? Yeah, probably. Unfortunately. So with that extra point, it makes it 42-33. And all you wanted to do was prevent the big play, but unfortunately that did not happen.
Again, you talked about it earlier. Grayson Thomas's ability to cut up when he sees a hole is...
I would not be surprised if that gentleman has 200 yards this evening.
I would not either. Looks like we're looking on Max Preps tonight after the game.
At least 3 big runs, one of which was 75 yards alone.
I believe that either accounts for his second or third touchdown of the night, too.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. I would say 3. Yeah, he is a special runner, man.
Absolutely.
He reminds me of Eric Dickerson. He's a very upright runner, carries the ball high and tight, which is what you teach. And he hits the hole. He changes gears well. He does a lot of jump cutting in the hole and switches directions. Again, we talked about the O-line. They just showed you how good their O-line was just
Absolutely.
now, because they were methodically moving until they popped one, and that's exactly what happened. So I agree, Jordan Moore and Quentin Manning, that did hurt, and ouch.
So here is Wells out to kick it for the New Palestine Dragons. So Decatur Central Hawks are getting the ball back with about 5:50 left to play with the timeout still to their name.
Now, and a squib kick up the middle, and 27 is going to take that.
27 would be Hunter Harvey.
And Hunter is a nifty little player. He's a JV standout, had a touchdown last week. So he is no stranger, but nice job by him, though, to secure that ball and not do something inappropriate with it. So we will take over. 5:45 to go. We need 2 scores. It doesn't matter how. You need 2 scores in any way possible to win this football game.
Absolutely.
And I'll be honest, after last year, to come in here and to play this way, I know there's no such thing as moral victories, but if we were not to come back and win this, we have still, and an excellent
Casey
job.
Berry with the catch.
With the
Breaks the
screen.
tackle. He's got a screen. He's got blockers. He's running down the end zone, or down the sideline. He's tackled by number 33. That is Garrett Raines.
And you have got to tip your cap to Bo Polston and Albert Aguirre and the offensive line. That play was ran to perfection. You pretend that you are run blocking. You release your man. They think they're getting to the quarterback, and he throws it over top of the defense, and it's a jailbreak screen.
Absolutely.
And that was ran to perfection. Wonderful job.
That is what we love here.
We wish Albert Aguirre was Usain Bolt, but we will take it. So we're going to send Casey Berry comes back next to Bo Polston, and Bo is going to throw quick, and he hits Pharrell Carter, and he is out of bounds, a gain of about 5. And Pharrell still, the short passing game is in effect. Just catch the football, young man, and get what you get. If you can break open down the field, break open down the field. I like how he has done tonight. He has played outstanding. So excellent job here. The last couple plays, Bo Polston controlling the offense. And excellent job picking up the blitz, and he's thrown into triple coverage with Casey Berry. Almost came away with it. Casey can jump like a gazelle, man.
Absolutely.
And triple covered, and he had a shot.
So it's 3rd down and 5 to go for the Decatur Central Hawks.
So, I mean,
3rd and manageable, if you will.
Like I said, over 5 minutes left. I mean, it's very possible to score 2 times.
Absolutely.
They scored, you hate to say it this way, but they almost scored too quickly. And we're about to score quickly again ourselves. So
absolutely.
You need 2 scores, whether it's a field goal and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, it doesn't matter.
How far would this be marked for Austin if this was a field goal?
About 47, 48 yarder from here.
So just about.
And another quick pass, and the referee says incomplete.
It looks like number 9.
Caden Jacoby thought he intercepted the ball,
Absolutely.
but he was called out of bounds by the official on that near side, who was right there. So excellent job by that official. And I'll be honest, tip of the cap to this officiating crew. They have done an outstanding job tonight.
100%.
You can't really say anything bad about them. The idea is that they don't interfere with the game, and they have not. They have done a wonderful job. They've been very fair. They've been in position, so tip of the cap to these gentlemen.
Austin Goebel out here to.
And there's the field goal attempt, and
It is
good. So they've done the first part.
Score one time, now we have to get the ball back and score a second to take the lead.
Exactly. This is a 3-part plan, so you can't do all 3 if you don't do the first.
Down 6 with 5:13 left in the fourth quarter.
And
New Pal still has all 3 of their timeouts. Decatur Central has 1, so we'll see how those timeouts come into play.
And how good has Ashton Vogel been tonight? The one attempt that he had that was about a 50-yarder, he missed, which a lot of guys, 90%, 95% of the kickers in high school would miss that as well. But from inside 45, 46, he has been outstanding. And just very lunch pail workmanlike.
And props to Cameron Tharp and Hannah Adair there for hydrating the officials just as well as they do the players.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, if you're New Pal, I agree with you, Brandon Spivey. You pound the rock. It is not broke. You don't fix it.
Absolutely.
We are going to have to step up defensively, and what stinks about that is they may try and sneak in a pass over the top if we're playing 8-9 guys in the box. So you wonder at this point, do you boot it deep or do you do an onside kick here?
I think the smart play would be boot it deep.
Yeah, I was going to
push them
say,
back.
You never
Onside
know.
kick's a little risky.
Well, especially with 5 minutes, yeah. And so he does. He puts a foot in it. That is going to be a touchback, 4 or 5 yards in the end zone. Kid just continues to impress, man. I just
Absolutely.
I heard somebody mention, gosh, I can't think of his first name. Kicker right before I got here, Tutsi. A lot of people believe he's the best kicker in the history of Decatur Township, and I can't refute that. I've heard a lot of wonderful things about him, but Ashton Vogel has to be in the same breath as Tutsi.
Absolutely.
So
You gotta love it. Gotta love it.
So 5:13 to go, 1st and 10 for the New Pal Dragons. Your Hawks need a stop on defense desperately. I think we'll see a steady diet of Grayson Thomas. There's the first one. He runs into a wall.
Right into the wall.
Of Stephen Oyuteo, Bryson Bonnewitt, Vincent, several guys.
Brandon Vinson. These guys are definitely going out here to make plays for Decatur Central tonight.
Yeah, and
trying to get their offense that ball back.
And we need 2 more of those.
Absolutely.
And I'll be honest, you got a key on Grayson Grayson Thomas, and you got a key on Gavin Neal here, and that's exactly what they're doing. And there's Crop, the third head of
breaking
the monster.
tackles.
He's just spinning and moving. So and you hear some folks up here in the broadcast booth. The Hawks trying to cause a fumble as opposed to tackling here. Just bring the guy down at this point. You've got 4 minutes left. You got plenty of time.
They've got all their timeouts on them still, so
we've proven we can score in a quick manner.
Absolutely.
So 36-42, a 6-point lead here.
Decatur Central home crowd getting the defense hyped up.
And there
Another
we
handoff.
go.
That's what we like. That tackle was made by
back to the basics here.
Brandon Vinson and
again,
Albert Okoye.
That was Crop again. Kyle Kropp. So right now, you're going to just see a steady diet of Kropp and Grayson Thomas, and every now and then Neal will probably tuck it and run.
You got to give respects to both Kropp and Thomas splitting the snaps at the running back position and still making plays for their team.
Klopp's had a nice game as well.
Absolutely.
He's caught the ball effectively, ran the ball effectively.
He's proving that he is definitely a two-way player on offense. Yep. Another handoff. And that is, again, stopped at the line. That was Albert Okoye again, who was at the bottom of that pile along with Brandon Vinson.
And I'll be honest, I feel like they're going to have a tough time running on our linebackers at this point with Campbell and Stephen Oteo and Albert Aguirre. Heck, I mean, even Bonawit, those guys. They're going to really have a tough time.
Trying to see who's a little shaken up on that play. It looks like, I can't tell. I think that's 29. That is Jalen Shanks, I believe.
I think he's just taking a knee and drinking water. Maybe not. I'm not sure.
You're
talking for us. I didn't see that. Okay, you're spot on. Sorry about that. No, you're 100% accurate. That's exactly who it is. So
Jalen Shanks coming in the game because one of our players had lost their helmet.
And now he's lost his. So 3:13 to go. 3rd and 7.
You have to think they're going for a pass here, but you never know with this new PAL offense.
Yeah. And there's
the handoff, and he stops short.
He did not get it.
Got to be 4th down, but how far away?
And the line judges are marking it well. So he's 4th and 1.
4th and 1. You'd have to think New Pal's offense will stay out there, but
you would think with 2:43 and counting, Kyle Enright will not burn that timeout.
So their offense staying out there.
So right now,
see Bryson Vonnegut getting excited right there. Hopefully they can make the stop here and push them back.
6, 7, 8 guys in the box, and they're all coming.
And they did not get it.
No.
They stopped them short.
Negative.
Decatur Central is going to get the ball back with 2:19 left.
And the clock stops at 2:19. 1 timeout left. A touchdown and extra point wins the football contest.
And that looks like Grayson Thomas a little shaken up after that play.
And I don't know if you saw the linebackers all swarm to the line of scrimmage.
They all swarmed that. They all wanted that just as much as anyone else on that field.
And what's really interesting to me is that everybody in the building that knows anything about football knew exactly what they were going to run. And it was, we talk about this all the time in Decatur Central football. It's our guys versus your guys.
Absolutely.
And you got to beat us or we're going to beat you, and that's exactly what just happened. Our guys beat their guys.
So what are we thinking here?
So 2:19, I think we're going to see a steady diet of the short passing game.
Absolutely.
Or maybe we'll go downfield right off the bat. And we might get a flag there. I don't know.
Looking for number 22, Casey Berry, but no flag called on that play.
No flag there. So
make it 2nd down and 10 for the Decatur Central Hawks.
I think you're going to see a lot of the short passing game here. Coach Enright liked what he had in Casey Berry and went downfield on 1st down. I thought there was a little bit of contact,
coming out of the game.
Nothing. So 2:14, not a whole lot went off the clock there. The clock stops for you. You've got plenty of time. No need to panic.
Absolutely.
Every set of downs, you're going for it on 4th.
And that is that Mpo Dodo?
It is.
That is Mpo Dodo next up.
Dodo
and he's going to
go
take
outside,
the ball.
And he's going to get a very short gain there.
Probably about a gain of 1 or 2 right there.
Yeah, so you may see that timeout get called here. Because
looks like they're going to conserve that timeout.
Alrighty, so I guess Coach Enright probably feels like he has plenty of time. So no need to panic here. 150 and counting. A 6-point game. Your Hawks have the ball just on the other side of the 50 at the 47-yard line. 3rd down and 10 to go. Bo Polston in shotgun. Looks like he's got Albert Aguirre with him in the backfield there. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top.
I'm looking for a quick pass possibly. Oh, and that defense gets back to him, but he gets that ball caught at the 40-yard line. That might be enough. What are they going to call that? Is that going to be enough for the Decatur Central Hawks? A 4th down and 2.
Bo Polston just shook Michael Thacker and threw a dart to the sideline. So it'll be 4th and 2. You don't want to use cliches, but this could be the ball game right here, folks.
This play right here.
Let's be honest. This is it. We don't get it.
This is make or break for the Decatur Central Hawks. So, we don't get this. They get the ball back with all their timeouts.
So here we go. The Hawks.
There goes that timeout.
Yeah, I'll say somebody called a timeout. I'm not sure if it's Decatur Central or New Pal. So buck 25, 1 minute, 25 seconds here. You got 2 yards for life. You still have life, or you don't get it.
Here we go. Decatur Central looking for a pass.
Quick pass.
Quick pass, and he got it. Quick pass, and he got it.
Oh! I tell you, Pharrell Carter. He thought
and got that first down. That is definitely the chain mover for the Decatur Central offense.
We've been talking about him before the game and during the game.
So the real question is now, do we run the clock a little?
No. You score if you get a chance. Bottom line, you score. If you can score on this first play, score. Regardless. So, do we take another shot downfield? Bo Polston alone in the shotgun. He's
looking for a snap. He's going to throw. He's got a man. That's caught.
And that looks like a catch. And they are marking it as such.
That is caught. But that is Chris Richmond moving the change for Decatur Central.
So 1:15 to go from the 7-yard line. And the clock is running because the ball has been spotted. So
I'm thinking run here, but you never know.
Bo Polston, I could see Bo Polston running an option here and keeping
calling
that
his
ball.
Own number would be something he would do.
I could totally see that. And why not? He's still got Casey Berry behind him. He's got Albert Aguirre to the left. And he's going to roll out.
He's going to run himself. He's going to run in there. That's a touchdown. Touchdown. Bo Polston.
I don't know if you guys saw the block that Alex Serber threw to ensure that Bo Polston scored.
You can't write that any better.
It looked like it was a sprint right pass, and the C's open.
Bo Polston calling his own number for that one.
Only one man between Bo Polston in the end zone and Alex Serber blew that gentleman up.
Made sure that touchdown would be given.
We are tied at 42, folks.
Decatur Central going for the kick.
Very important extra point. And
kick is up, and the kick is good. Making this score 43-42 Decatur Central.
Listen to this crowd, folks.
This crowd is going insane, and I win too. I'm loving this game, folks.
Now,
42.3 seconds left in this game. New Pal with all their timeouts still.
In the words of the great coach Herb Brooks, this is not done. We are only leading with 42.3 seconds. You have to be sound on kickoff.
Absolutely.
Run your lanes. Everybody pinch to the football. We told you this was possible. And we are to that point, but we have 42 seconds of football against a very dangerous football team.
We've been saying it all game. You never count out an offense or a defense, even if there's the littlest time on the clock.
This point right now is all those practices in the heat, in the winter, where you're working on discipline. This is where it's going to show.
So here comes Ashton Vogel here to kick it off for the Decatur Central Hawks with 42.3 seconds left. Decatur Central leading by 1, but the game changer here is going to be those 3 timeouts that New Pal still has.
For sure. So best case scenario, you'd like to see a touchback here. That would be outstanding. But if not, everybody tackle, and that's exactly what you get.
Exactly what you want.
So 80 yards and 42.3 seconds. And the defense has stood up. The problem right now, the clock was their friend at 7 minutes and 5 minutes. It is not. New Pal is going to have to throw the football here.
And I can only expect this Decatur Central crowd to erupt in these final few seconds of the game.
Right now, you tell your defensive backs, not one single person gets behind you. Everything stays in front.
This is tackle, no forced fumble tries here. Straight tackling, straight up rough redneck football right here. I wouldn't be surprised if there were blitzes thrown here a lot. I'm waiting. This crowd's erupting.
And Max Gooden is coaching his tail off right now.
Looking for a pass, and they've got
and almost intercepted.
Almost intercepted, which would have sealed the game.
Oyeteo. And
That
what a great
interception.
job by him reading that, stepping back in coverage, making that difficult. Like we said this evening, Gavin Neal has not thrown the ball a lot, but he's been effective. But he hasn't been forced to throw it, and right now that's where he's at.
This is one of the best parts about doing anything sports related. You get to see the eruption of the crowd.
37 seconds.
Looks for a pass. He's got like nobody open.
And he throws it away.
Throws it away. That brings up 3rd and 10.
Had Bryson Bonawit and I forget 29. Jalen Shanks in his face. And had he not thrown that to the ground, he would have been to the ground himself and lost about 15 yards. So 3rd down now, 32 seconds. Remember, the clock stops with every incomplete pass.
Absolutely.
And they have 2 more downs to stay alive.
So you think these timeouts will definitely come to effect here?
Well, we'll see. And
he's looking for a long bomb, but he's got nothing. That's an interception by Decatur Central.
I don't know if that ball got tipped or if he just really underthrew it, but Casey
Berry with the interception.
And
that will officially end this game, folks.
Dare I say, Marlon Jackson fashion. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Marlon Jackson fashion intercepts that ball, and nobody on this field can jump better than that young man. I can put money on that.
Casey Berry is going to be the talk of the week next week.
But you gotta, this is everybody. We talked about last week it being a total team effort from coaches to players to everybody out there.
You mentioned it earlier, this script cannot get any better.
Same thing. Yeah, like I said, whether we win or lose, this has been an outstanding football game.
Especially for
both
Indiana.
sides. And
absolutely.
Tip of the cap to them. They've played their tails off, and we just ended the game with 1 more point than they did.
This is only week 2 of this
and
football season.
The best call you can make as a football coach, victory formation.
Absolutely.
What a football game. My goodness.
Like we said, they were back for redemption, and they got the redemption they needed.
We talked about evening up the series 2-2, and we've done just that. And, I mean, what a gutsy performance.
And as the clock runs out, Decatur Central will look at that scoreboard and will officially win the game, and there goes the crowd. Everyone on that field.
Yeah, and I mean, you can name guy after guy, Bull Poston playing his guts out.
Absolutely.
Farrell
Casey
Carter,
Berry with that savior of an
Chris
interception.
Richmond, Casey Berry,
Carson
Stephen
Ison,
Oyeteo,
Bryson Bonawit, everybody did an amazing
Albert
thing.
Aguirre.
Had an amazing, outstanding game, and you know what? It paid off at the end with the Decatur Central win.
And folks, the only people that thought Decatur Central was going to be 2-0 after 2 weeks are Decatur Central people.
Absolutely.
And we are sure proud of it. 43-42. Your Hawks, again, under a minute to go, score a touchdown with a Bull Poston sprint right. The sea parted, and he went in. An amazing block by Alex Serber to make that happen.
You will, a little bit of the Madden announcer knowledge here. The Red Sea parted, and there he went.
And we are as thrilled as you are, and we thank you
Absolutely.
guys so much for tuning in.
We will see you all again next week when Decatur
Actually,
Central
in 2 weeks.
I'm talking about we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks, but you'll see them next week at Whiteland. So thank you all again for everyone tuning in tonight, physically and over devices. We'd like to thank you again, and everyone have a safe night.
Wonderful game. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.